Oh, yeah. I'm trying, I feel it. Damn.
You know, I'm not having and praise God, yeah.
That kid's got a big lane. He's an athlete. We only have 2 hours and 30 minutes.
That's not going to work, is it? We can't delete anything?
Alright, you do not want to come here for time to get to that.
Well,
Some of the games, the end is going to be
Yeah,
all this we've got to do anyway.
we thought he could get by with it.
well, as long as they get clips back in the studio, it'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, that has nothing to do.
Why do we even need? Well, never mind. Okay, well, I don't even think it's a big deal. All right. Welcome into St. Jen. It is the Web TV game of the week right here in, as I said, St. Jen. It's the second straight week we've broadcasted from this location, and it's a far cry from the weather conditions that we saw just a week ago. It was warm, we were sweating, and you flash forward to this week, and it's exactly the opposite. We've got rain. It's been steadily raining pretty much the whole day, and currently right now it doesn't look like much is coming down, but that's sure to change, as I've seen plenty of rain in the forecast. Should be good, though. I don't think there's going to be any lightning, so in that regard we should be fine, although the wet conditions on the field and some slick hands could certainly affect this ball game. Perhaps a little less throwing of the football for a couple of teams that do like to pass, and perhaps a little bit more leaning on the run game. For the opposing team, the road team in DeSoto, it's going to be Cole Watson, who they'll mostly rely on at the running back position. And then for St. Jen, as you saw right here last week, it'll mostly be Darian Brown. So those two could have a big game as the field is a little bit moist, and certainly the conditions could affect both quarterbacks, Briar Fisher for DeSoto and Chad Dunsey, who is a pretty good runner himself for St. Genevieve. Coming up next, though, we'll hear from both of the coaches, their thoughts on the conditions here tonight and how they think it might affect the game right here on the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week. Why? New Orleans.
Family night at Applebee's Bar and Grill in Farmington. Hi, my name is Amy Cousins, General Manager of your local store. Maybe start out with a couple of appetizers, boneless wings, onion rings, mozzarella sticks, spinach artichoke dip, chicken quesadilla. There's so much to choose from. Let the kids pick from the kids menu, then for yourself, choose one of our favorites. Steaks, ribs, seafood, pasta, we have it all. Go to Applebee's.com for the full menu and look for our happy hour prices. Doing good in the neighborhood, Applebee's Bar and Grill in Farmington.
All right, back in on the Fleegs Equipment pregame show, now joined by the head coach of the St. Genevieve Dragons, Ken Wyke. And Coach, we didn't really talk about this during the week, but we get here today and it's raining, not super hard, and there's no lightning, it would appear, in the area, but it's just going to keep coming, it would appear. So how do you think that's going to affect the game?
I don't think it's going to affect it. I mean, we're both playing in it, obviously. So, like you said, no lightning, so there are no delays. Just depends on who wants to come out here and get wet and play football.
Yeah, you said it doesn't affect the game, but by any chance does it kind of make it so you run the ball a little more as opposed to passing it with, the hands getting a little slick and the throws maybe being a little less on target because of the rain?
Oh yeah, I'm sure you got to change a little bit there and try to keep control of the ball, keep control of the clock. But then you can't put the ball on the ground here either, and we're both playing in it. So I think we're similar offenses. We like to both spread it out a little bit. So that's what I meant. It's going to kind of affect us both about the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys enter in against DeSoto. They're the Dragons, you're the Dragons. Battle of the Dragons here at St. Genevieve, and obviously they're coming in with a little bit of momentum, as are you. You just had one of your best games, if not your best game of the year. What do you think about this clash with two teams, really both feeling good about themselves?
I hope it's a good game. I mean, that's what you want, especially this time of year. You want to go into districts being tested. And, this is kind of nice. We haven't played in the rain all year. So let's add the elements to it because, in 2-3 weeks from now, you never know what you're going to see. You might see cold rain like we're getting now. And we want our kids to experience stuff. And, hopefully this will help us in the long run.
You've been coaching for a while. Do you have any memorable, whether it's here or somewhere else, any memorable games in the rain or, snow or otherwise?
Back before Grandview got their turf, we played down there one year, and it was probably an hour and a half delay before we started the game, and it seemed like there was a foot of water on the whole field. I'm sure there wasn't, but that was the lake, and our kids come out and had fun in it. So, and that's what we stressed tonight. We're gonna play in the rain, guys. Have a good time with it, and enjoy yourselves.
So you guys had senior night last week. Now you've got homecoming this week. So technically, it kind of feels like it's really senior night this week, but this is the last guaranteed home game you'll have all season long. What are the emotions like with your seniors?
They're high, obviously, and homecoming we had to flop because us and Valley can't have the same week. So they got homecoming last week, we got senior night last week. So, and that was an emotional night for our kids, and they came out and played hard, and we're going to push it the same way tonight, just kind of build off of that, play the same way you did last week, and, come out firing on all cylinders.
All right, Coach, sounds good. Well, thanks for the time and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, that was head coach Ken Wyke of the St. Genevieve Dragons as we get ready for a contest here against the DeSoto Dragons for St. Genevieve against the DeSoto. We'll be back with more on the Fleegs Equipment pregame show.
Josh Harris on the line from Midwest Sports Center, Highway 67 in Farmington. Josh, it's always a great time to shop at Midwest Sports Center, but especially so right now.
With the factory authorized clearance, whether you want on the road, off the road, or on the water, we've got rebates up to $4,000. Stop in and see us, 124 Walker Drive, Farmington.
What's the phone number?
573-756-7975.
That's Josh Harris at Midwest Sports Center in Farmington.
Back in here on the Fleegs Equipment pregame show, now joined by Chris Johnson, head coach of DeSoto, live here from St. Genevieve. And Coach, we didn't really talk about this during the week, but we get here and now it's kind of raining a little bit. How do you think this climate will kind of affect the game?
I don't think it will because we're not going to let it. We've tried to condition our kids to not worry about it, not make a big deal of it, and just go play football. I mean, do you have to concentrate maybe a little bit more than what you normally do? Sure, and that's understandable. But past that, it is what it is, man. It's Friday night football. It's Missouri. I mean, this is what you got to be ready for. So it is what it is. You got to concentrate a little bit more when the ball's in the air or when you're holding on to it, running it. Other than that, nothing. I mean, we're going to go out there and play our game and do what we do, and hopefully put up a lot of points and shut them down.
Yeah, I like the mindset. It kind of affects both teams the same way. I guess from your standpoint, though, do you change your play calling at all? Do you run the football a little bit more just because the hands will be a little bit slick with the water coming down?
I'll tell you after the first quarter. How about that? So if after the first quarter we've got 5 drops, then that might change my mindset. But no, going in, I'm not changing anything. We've got a game plan in place, and what we're going to try to do is what we're going to try to do. And I mean, really at the end of the day, we practice different types of elements. We practice with a wet ball, and we do all the different things to get ourselves ready so that when it is like this, we're not shocked. We've never not been through this before. So hopefully, if it goes like our kids have practiced, that you deal with it, you roll on, you concentrate a little bit more, and that's it. You don't make a big deal of it.
Well, you come into a tough environment here, Coach, and they've kind of had a couple of celebrations the last few weeks. Senior night last week, now it's going to be homecoming. How do you expect your guys to respond after a huge victory against Hillsboro last week to go against St. Genevieve and break another losing streak against another team?
Well, that's our goal. That's it right there. You said it. We got to break another winning streak, and I love the environment when there's people and it's chaos, and the other sidelines filled up with people, and they hate you and they're yelling stuff at you. I love that environment, and so I try to get our kids just to embrace that stuff because I've unfortunately had a few trips along my coaching path where you couldn't get anybody to show up to even really care. So the more people that are there that are actually invested in the product on the field, to me, the more exciting it is. So I love this kind of environment, and it's one of those deals where it's their homecoming. So I know what it's like being a head coach during homecoming, and it's a pain in the butt. But I'm sure Coach White has done this many times more than I have. So he'll know how to get his guys ready. So for us, it's just get out there, enjoy the environment, and enjoy the fact you get to play Friday Night Football, and let's go to work.
All right, Coach, sounds good. Well, I appreciate the time, and we'll talk after the game.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for being
All
here.
right, thanks, Coach. And that was Coach Chris Johnson of DeSoto right here on the Fleas Equipment pregame show.
If you have water or fire damage in your home or business, call Bryant Restoration at 986-3260. Hi, I'm Reggie Aubuchon, owner of Bryant Restoration. At Bryant Restoration, we strive to provide an efficient, transparent experience to help take the stress out of your situation. Bryant Restoration is IICRC certified, and we work with all insurance companies. Locally owned and operated, we have locations in St. Francis County and Poplar Bluff, covering all of southeast Missouri. We'd like to wish all local high school athletes good luck this season. Bryant Restoration, online at BryantRestorationCo.com.
Pulse Tractor and Equipment continues to be the leader of compact tractor sales for St. Francis and surrounding counties. How, you ask? It's simple. By selling the best quality for the best price with the proven best warranty on the market. Hi, it's Hannah with LS, the major brand maker of 2 other brands. Brands that you already know and love. At Coles Tractor and Equipment, you get that same franchise quality with the best 6-year parts and labor warranty and more standard features than I can name in this 60-second ad. This month, get the 35 horsepower 4-wheel drive diesel tractor with loader and skid steer front bucket for only $16,999. That's right, get the 35 horsepower compact diesel tractor with loader for only $16,999. Give us a call today, 573-756-4353, or stop by Coles Tractor and Equipment, 1 mile east of Farmington on Highway 32. Coles Tractor and Equipment. Don't just follow the herd, lead the herd.
All right, back in here, Coles Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week. It is just about time for kickoff. It will be St. Gen kicking to DeSoto. DeSoto to receive this football. The 5-2 St. Gen Dragons, the 4-3 DeSoto Dragons, and the kick is away, and it will be received at about the 10-yard line by DeSoto. Here comes the run back, and being stopped at about the 30-yard line is the return man. And that's about where DeSoto will get things started here today in their first drive of the contest. 11:54 on the first quarter clock as we get ready for the first play. For DeSoto, it's been Briar Fisher all season long at the quarterback position. 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the year, a 54% completion percentage. Not really a runner, but he throws the ball really well, and he'll set up here for DeSoto. We mentioned the rainy conditions. It's mostly subsided for now, although the field is certainly wet. As Fisher takes the first snap, he's going to hand it off to his back and stopped for a short gain, but now piling forward to the 35 is the running back, and that'll be a nice 5 or 6 yard gain on the play. So running most of the time for DeSoto this season has been Cole Watson. He's got 135 carries coming into this one. Cameron Brooks behind him with 18 on the year. And now setting up in 2nd and 4 after a 6 yard gain to the 36 yard line now is Briar Fisher and the DeSoto offense. Fisher claps his hands it off now to his back. It's going to be Watson who gets away from a tackler and motors forward towards the 40. That is the second time now that a running back for DeSoto has gotten out of a sure tackle and made a 5 yard gain or so out of it, and that's going to be enough for a first down as the chains move. 2 plays for DeSoto and a first down as Watson gets it done with his legs. Now, Cole Watson, you look at the numbers. Yards per carry, maybe not super impressive, but he carries the ball so many times, and he's a tough physical runner, and you saw it right there as he just carried the pile all the way to the 40 yard line. 1st and 10, Fisher is going to hand it off to Watson once again, and Watson will be stopped for about 2 yards to the 42-yard line. So DeSoto coming off of a very emotional victory last week, holding Hillsboro out of the end zone at the gun to snap what was an 11-game losing streak against the Hawks of Hillsboro. St. Gen, on the other hand, comes in after a dominating performance right here at home against Fredericktown last week. We were here for that. 2nd and 8 now for the Dragons of DeSoto from the 42-yard line, their own 42. Here's another handoff. Watson once again. He's going to get a lot of that second down, and it's going to be 3rd and short here as we set up 3rd and 2 on the 6-yard carry from Watson. So something we kind of expect here with perhaps a little bit of a wet football is plenty of running. Now these two teams do run the ball enough already, but they certainly do like to throw it as well. And we saw that with Dunsey on the other side for St. Gen. He did both as he went over 100 yards rushing and over 200 yards passing against Fredericktown. Here's 3rd and 2 from the 48. Handoff again goes to Watson, and Watson might have been stopped short, and I think he was. He needed 2. Looks like he got 1. And that should bring up 4th and short for DeSoto. It will be 4th and 1, and that'll mean decision time here for the offense. What will the decision be? They're going to stay out there. 4th and 1 from their own 49. They've yet to throw the ball yet. Fisher is going to go on a QB sneak, and it'll depend on the spot here. Fisher might have been stopped short. It's right on the line. What is the call? It looks like they are short, and coming off the field now is the DeSoto offense. Stopped on 4th. And St. Gen will take over on downs. So they needed a yard, and it looks like they got inches instead, and now the ball's placed at the 50-yard line for the Dragons of St. Gen as they take over for their first possession. 8:57 on the clock here. 1st and 10, and it will be Chad Dunsey, the quarterback, in the shotgun. He has a quick throw out to the left. It is caught by Devin Bader, and Bader is going to have an early first down by the looks of it. Maybe he went out a little bit short of the marker. Football is right on the sticks, and they will say move those chains along. A first down on the first play for St. Gen from scrimmage. And now quickly into DeSoto territory is the home team. Ball's placed at the 40-yard line after a 10-yard gain. Dunsey readies for the snap. And he's going to check to the sideline as he read something in that DeSoto defense as he was thinking about snapping. Back there with him is Darian Brown, certainly a star from last week against Fredericktown, the running back. Dunsey's going to throw it out, a screen to the right side. Caught and moving towards the first down sticks is the receiver. And a nice move there for St. Genevieve. Tackle there by Dominic DeMarco for DeSoto, and it will be a first down for St. Gen. So now 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line of DeSoto as St. Gen had no problem starting off hot a week ago. They're looking to do the same here. 5 receivers set, empty backfield for Dunsey. Clock running at 8:35 right now. A cold night, but the rain has stopped for the moment. We'll see if it returns, but for now, just a wet field to deal with. As Dunsey kneels down, takes the snap, throws out to his left, and the ball is dropped and almost intercepted. That was Logan Gegg, the intended receiver, and it looked like number 2 for DeSoto, Cameron Crowdinger, was in the area as well. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 on the incomplete pass by Dunsey, his first. After Gegg found that ball just a little too high for him. Logan Gegg, 112 yards receiving last week. A touchdown. He also had 2 carries for 37 yards. Here's a quick throw out to the left. It is caught. And going for a little bit of a gain here to about the 20, now the 19. And it's going to be Grant Staffen for St. Gen. Staffen, another running back but split out there. He makes the catch, and it is now 3rd and 2 after an 8-yard gain. So they're at the 20. They need the 18 to keep this drive going. Dunsey checks out at the quarterback position. It's going to be Gegg under center. He hands off to Brown, and Darian Brown is going to be very close to a first down. We'll see if they give it to him. And it's going to be 4th down. So they needed 2. They only got 1 as they went to that look with Gegg, a wide receiver, but also the backup quarterback under center, as they like to do for short yardage situations. And they'll go to it again. Jumbo set with Gegg. 3 in the backfield with him. No receivers out wide. And it goes to Brown. And Brown, does he have enough on 4th down? Is it another turnover on downs? We will see. It was right at the marker. DeSoto was celebrating as if they got the stop. And a timeout is going to be called here. They're going to come out and measure. It's an official timeout. It was close enough to where they're going to bring out the chains, and this measurement will decide whether or not it's 2 consecutive turnover on downs for both teams, or if it's going to be a first down. It will not be a first down. DeSoto gets the stop this time, and St. Jen stalls in the red zone. And now DeSoto will take back over on offense at their own 18-yard line. So they went to Gegg under center. 2 consecutive plays there, as they did plenty of times in the red zone and the goal line situations last week. Worked well against Fredericktown, not so much against DeSoto here. And the Dragons, the visiting Dragons, take back over with Briar Fisher, their quarterback, in the shotgun. A running back to his right, 3 receivers outright. Looks like none to the left. Fisher is going to throw out to his right. This pass is caught. It is going to be Clayton Snudden, and Snudden's got a nice gain. Snudden took it near the sticks on 1st and 10. That's going to bring up 2nd and short now. 2nd and 1, we'll call it, from the 26-yard line. A 9-yard catch by Snudden on the play. DeSoto coming off of a 4-6 season. They've already matched their win total from a year ago. Head coach Chris Johnson in his 3rd year, trying to change the culture. Here comes the 2nd and 1 play. A handoff. It looks like Watson, and Watson busts forward for a short gang. It looks like it should be enough for a first down. As Ty Brown was in on the tackle on that play. Still waiting for the official ruling, and it will be a first down. Here comes the chains on the move. But yeah, Chris Johnson had 5 wins in 2016, 4 wins last year, and this might be his best squad. Certainly you could say that if they come on the road here against St. Jen and get the victory. Got a lot of seniors on this team, an older squad, and what a victory it would be to spoil St. Jen's homecoming. Fisher back to pass, but he's going to be pressured and brought down for a sack just past the 26-yard line, so he'll lose about a yard on the play. Call it 2 yards to the 25. It's 2nd and 12. Down went the quarterback there. Well, they went a long way towards changing that culture last week with that win against Hillsboro, breaking a 11-game losing streak against that squad. And it's a similar goal here against St. Genevieve. They've lost 6 straight to the Dragons from St. Jen. Here's Fisher back to pass, again pressured, and that's going to be a fumble, or no, they're going to call an incomplete pass. The referees ruled that his arm was moving forward. He was hit as he was throwing, and apparently Fisher did have ball in hand as his arm propelled forward on the play. Still, though, not a great situation for DeSoto. It's 3rd and 12, but man, that could have been a huge fumble recovery had it been ruled that way for St. Gen. 3rd and 12 now, though, for the Dragons from DeSoto. With 5:46 left. Nobody in the backfield with Fisher. 5 wide. Fisher's going to throw over the middle, and this pass is caught at the 41-yard line for a first down, and that is Cameron Crowdinger. Crowdinger with the nice catch and a beautiful throw there from Briar Fisher. And again, we talk about the wet football. It's not going to be as wet as perhaps we originally thought. The rain has stopped, but the field is still a little bit damp, and nonetheless, a great throw from Briar Fisher to net a huge first down on what was 3rd and long, and now DeSoto moves up to their own 41. Now they're approaching the area in which their first drive stalled out at about the 50-yard line. Fisher back there with 2 backs. He's going to hand it off to one of them. Looks like on the play it's going to be a loss or perhaps a no gain. It'll be a loss of 2. Jeremy Harmon on the carry. So 2nd and 12 on the 39. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. As they went away from Watson that time. Watson is generally their bell cow running back, as long as he's in there. As Fisher sets back up. Again, 2 in the backfield. 2 receivers out left, 1 to the right. The ball is on the right hash for DeSoto. Fisher looks to his left, makes the throw, and it is caught on the far side of the field. Beautiful throw there from Fisher. And it looked like Andrew Downs, the tight end, on the catch. So Downs split out wide a little bit there, and that's a tough throw from one hash to the far side of the field. Fisher made it, and now it's 3rd and medium as opposed to 3rd and long thanks to that play. 3rd and 5 it'll be from the 46-yard line of DeSoto. And the road team trying to get another first down. This time it'll be 3rd and medium like I mentioned instead of 3rd and long. Fisher claps his hands, takes the snap, throws out right, and this pass is caught again. Another big 3rd down conversion. And again, this time it is Clayton Snudden making the catch. It's 1st and 10 as DeSoto, for the first time, moves into St. Gen territory on what we'll call the 46-yard line. Officials timeout here. Looks like somebody lost their equipment on the play. And that's going to be thrown to the sideline by number 6 for DeSoto, Jeremy Harmon. Like maybe a brace of some sort that made its way onto the field. And in addition, there's a banged up Dragon from St. Genevieve. Looks like number 22, Ty Brown, backup running back and a linebacker who starts at that position on the other side of the field. So he'll come out here on defense, and he'll be replaced, and we'll get back going here with DeSoto. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line of St. Gen. 3:40 left on the first quarter clock. Fisher claps his hands, hands it off. It is Watson. Watson up the middle, just short of the 40-yard line it looks like. So about a 5-yard gain, and it will be. Now 2nd and 5. Tyler Jenkins on the play. No score yet, and that's certainly a departure from what we saw in the first quarter for St. Gen last week. They put up a lot of points, and Fredericktown couldn't really put up any. Fredericktown went 3 and out on 3 consecutive possessions. Meanwhile, St. Gen had no problems going upwards of 20 points in the first quarter. Fisher claps his hands. He's going to option out right. Now he's going to pitch it to his back, and stopped behind the line of scrimmage, it looks like, at about the 38 or 39 for a loss. And it's going to be the back there. And now, again, DeSoto needs a big 3rd down play. Certainly not the first time. as the clock runs down now to 2:25. 3rd and 5, we'll call it, from the 41-yard line. DeSoto just converted on a 3rd and 5. They've also converted on 3rd and 15 on this drive. Can they do it again? Fisher takes the snap, throws out left. It's a screen. Cutting towards the middle is the receiver, but he's going to be blasted behind the 45-yard line. Looked like Jerry Chandler perhaps on the catch, and that'll be a loss of 4. Back to the 45-yard line. It's now 4th and 9, and with 1:50 left, looks like we'll see our first punt of the first quarter by DeSoto. Crow Dinger looks to do the honors here, who also made a nice catch on a big 3rd down conversion on this drive. Unfortunately, though, for DeSoto, it stalls out. Crow Dinger takes the snap, kicks it out to the right. This one's lining. It's going to bounce down past the 20, and it's going to get out of bounds short of the 15-yard line. 1:19 left, and that's where St. Jen's going to take over. Again, just 1:19 left, and it's going to be a tougher challenge for the St. Gen offense this week. This is only their 2nd possession now of the first quarter as we wind that down. But we talked to Coach Wyke about it, and they've got a physical defensive line at DeSoto, and with the offensive line that St. Gen has, certainly they're pretty good. They've got some experience, but a whole new animal dealing now with DeSoto instead of Fredericktown. Dunsey takes the snap. It's a draw. He hands off to Brown. Brown is blasted, though, at the 20-yard line after a gain of about 2 yards. Will bring up 2nd and 8. Looked like a nice design there, and we know that Coach Wyke prides himself on running a balanced offense, not one that relies too heavily on the run or the pass. Certainly the threat of Dunsey is present, and Brown, the sophomore, a nice week last week, just didn't quite work out there. 2nd and 8 from the 20-yard line. Clock ticking now, 45 seconds left in the first quarter. No score, 0-0. Dunsey takes the snap, looks for a screen out to the right. It is caught. Looks like Brady Boyer. Boyer trying to break free, and Boyer still on his feet. It's going to get close to the 25-yard line. We'll call it the 22 on the far side of the field. It's going to bring up 3rd and 6. And with now 12 seconds left, they might decide to just let the clock run out. Or will they run one more play? Doesn't look like it. 5 seconds left. 4. Now 3, 2, 1. And that will indeed conclude the first quarter of football here from St. Genevieve. After 1, no score. 0-0 between the Dragons of St. Gen and the Dragons of DeSoto. We'll be back with more on the other side. This is the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
Are you tired of calling your mortgage lender and not being able to talk to anyone, or you're transferred over and over again? Skip the hassle and refinance with Bloomsdale Bank. Call today and speak with one of their expert loan officers. Have a personalized borrowing experience and rest easy knowing your loan will be serviced locally when you borrow with Bloomsdale Bank. Visit their website or visit any of their 5 locations in Herculaneum, Crystal City, Bloomsdale, or St. Genevieve. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When it's all said and done, what really matters? For Serenity Hospice Care patient Jack, hospice isn't about giving up. It's not about the end. It's about right now. It's about spending precious time with the people we love.
Come on, Grandpa.
And the little moments that create lasting memories. It's focusing on what's important to you and remembering life is beautiful in all stages.
Back in Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week. It is St. Gen as we flip sides of the field. St. Gen now going left to right as we view the field now on the away press box. We were at the home press box last week, so a little bit of a change for us. Here's a 3rd and 6 play. It's a draw, and Darian Brown's going to pick up the first as he goes past the 30-yard line. And that'll bring up 1st and 10 as Gutsy call there for St. Gen. 3rd and medium, they decide to run the football, and it works to perfection as the sophomore Darian Brown gets the job done, as he did plenty just last week. So now St. Gen winning the field position battle a little bit more than they were. They get to the 32-yard line. But still plenty of yardage left to go. 68 yards, as a matter of fact, to get to the end zone. Another handoff to Brown. Brown's going to sweep it out to the left side, try and get around the corner. He'll be pushed out of bounds, and I believe this is our first flag of the game, which is pretty incredible for high school football. You know, usually you see a little bit more mistakes than you would for maybe the college game, but I think we just went an entire quarter without a penalty. And now, of course, early in the second, St. Jen's going to get called for holding, and that'll push him back a little bit. Certainly did feel like that first quarter went by pretty quick, and, you know, that had a lot to do with a lot of running, and whenever both teams were throwing the football, the passes were being completed. But one thing I didn't really consider was the lack of penalties, and, well, when one happens there for the first time in the game, you're kind of slapped in the face with that, and now St. Gen will move back 10 yards. 1st and 20 from their own 22-yard line. So just talking about how they were doing a little bit better field position-wise, and now they shoot themselves in the foot with a penalty. Here's another draw play, and eaten up in the backfield is Darian Brown. There's that tough defensive line of DeSoto that we talked to Coach Wyke about. And you know, they've ran that same draw play a few times, and this time DeSoto snuffed it out. That'll be a big loss of 5 for St. Gen, and made even bigger by the fact that it was just 1st and 20. Now it's 2nd and 25. As Dunsey, the quarterback for St. Gen, will have 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Dunsey looks right. He's going for a deep ball towards the sideline, and too far for Bader, who was led out of bounds. And it looked like on the coverage for DeSoto was Clayton Snudden, a D-back and a wide receiver for this team. So Dunsey going for it all on one play there, trying to get all 25 yards back, but he threw it too far out of bounds towards the sideline. It's 3rd and 25 now, and you wonder if they'll just go with a run play to get a little bit of it back. 3 receivers out right, 1 to the left, just as the last play was. Dunsey's going to roll out to his right. He's going to go on a screen now to the opposite side of the field. It's Darian Brown. Brown's got some room, and he's going to get swallowed up at the 30. So he will get some of it back. Close to the original line of scrimmage goes Brown. They'll call it a 13-yard gain. It's 4th and 12, and you got to think that St. Gen will punt here, and that's exactly how they're setting up. With the ball on their own 30 and 4th and long, there's really no choice here. Chad Dunsey will handle the punting. He handles all kicking duties for St. Gen, along with, of course, the quarterbacking. This one is nearly a fake, but Dunsey was just looking for a better angle, so he runs away and now kicks it. It's past the 40-yard line. It's going to bounce all the way towards the 35. That's a fortunate break for St. Gen. As Dunsey, it kind of looked like a fake, but I think what really happened was the pressure got to him so quickly that he had to tuck and run and then punt the football away. It was a short kick, but it rolled so far, and it got all the way to the 35 of DeSoto. So a nice little break there for St. Gen, and DeSoto was really bringing the pressure, and that's kind of where having your quarterback who can also run comes in handy, putting him at the punter position, so he's athletic enough to escape the pressure and get off a nice punt. So 1st and 10 from the 35 for DeSoto. 9:52 left in the second quarter and the first half. 0-0 is still our score. Fisher is going to hand off, and this looks to be Watson on the carry. And Watson goes forward for a short gain on 1st and 10. Call it 2 yards down to the 37. So you've got 2 running backs that really handle most of the carries for their respective teams. Now, As I mentioned, Dunsey on the St. Gen side, the quarterback, he likes to run the football, but as far as pure running backs are concerned, Watson handles most of it for DeSoto. He's a senior. Then on the other side, Darian Brown, a sophomore, does most of it for St. Gen. Fisher claps his hands, looks out to his left. Here comes a deep ball, and this one is caught. A nice catch there, and it is number 22 on the play for DeSoto, Clayton Snudden yet again. A deep ball that's going to get into St. Gen territory, and Snudden, on what looked to be a comebacker, timed it perfectly with his quarterback, Briar Fisher. Huge gang there now to the 35-yard line on the St. Gen side. And DeSoto certainly would like to get on the board. Neither team has to this point, as they both continue to feel each other out a little bit. And now Fisher gets into the huddle and sets up the next play. Ball's on the left hash, 2 receivers out to the right. 2 men in the backfield with Fisher, nobody split out left. Here's a handoff to Watson. Watson trying to bounce right guard. And he's going to get stopped short of the 35. I think that's a loss of 1 on the play, as Watson found no real estate. And indeed it will bring up what looks to be 2nd and 11. Well, this is what you see from St. Gen and DeSoto. Both teams are going to play sound fundamental football, and they're going to try and limit the big plays, and that's mostly what we've seen. DeSoto's had a couple of huge third down conversions, especially that one on 3rd and 15 on their last drive. But other than a few examples, it's been short plays. Fisher's going to throw out to his right here. This one is caught, and it looks like Crow Dinger is going to make the play at about the 30-yard line. That was 2nd and 11. And that will be a 5-yard pickup. It's 3rd and 6. Now on the play for DeSoto. Well, can the Dragons break another losing streak? Like I said, it was 11 contests against Hillsboro. It's 6 against St. Gen, and now we're going to take a break as there's an injured man on the field. Looks to be a DeSoto Dragon. We'll be back on the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
When life changes, where can you get the health care that you or your loved one needs? Try Presbyterian Manor, where we consider you family. Being a member of our family means having a skilled, compassionate team, making sure you live your best life. Call 573-756-6768 today and schedule a visit to see why the community voted us the best independent living, best assisted living, and best skilled nursing community in the Parkland area.
Back here in St. Gen, the hurt man for DeSoto was their 2nd leading receiver, Cameron Crowdinger. He limps off the field. He's got his helmet off right now. He's seeming to be able to walk around on his own power, so we hope to see him back in soon. He's a huge piece for DeSoto, and you'd love to see him be active in this game. Here's a throw out to the left side, nearly intercepted. On the deflection there was Bryce Trollinger of St. Genevieve. And on 3rd and 6, the drive stalls unless DeSoto decides to go for it here. And they might. Looks like the offense is potentially staying out on the field. Now the injured man, Crow Dinger, does have his helmet back on now. He is not on the field, though, for DeSoto for this play. Again, their 2nd leading receiver on the season. Still got Clayton Snudden out there, though, and of course a reliable tight end in Andrew Downs to go to here for this 4th and 6 play. We'll see if they do from the 31-yard line for DeSoto. Fisher back there by himself. They go 4 wide. Fisher drops back. Flag is down. It's a screen pass. It's going to net a 1st down and more towards the 20. Now bumbling towards the 10 is the runner. And on the reception there, it was Andrew Downs, the tight end. And the flag at the line of scrimmage, I would assume, is coming back. Let's see what the referee says. I think he pointed back towards the far side. And indeed, this play will be erased as DeSoto commits a penalty. And on 4th and 6, a pickup that went towards the 10-yard line. It's going to be negated for the Dragons, the visiting Dragons. It's a tough break, as it was a beautiful design. Downs, the tight end on the screenplay, made a great run to pick up even more yardage. Unfortunately, it's in vain, though, and that'll bring up now 4th and 11. Ball's at the 36, and you could still go for it here. It's still no man's land. And it looks like that's exactly what they'll do with Briar Fisher, the quarterback. 2 out wide to the left, 1 out wide to the right. A back with Fisher here as he claps his hands, takes the snap, rolls out to his left. He's looking down the field, and it's going to bounce in front of his intended receiver. Incomplete. Looked like Clayton Snudden just past the 30-yard line, and that will be a turnover on downs for DeSoto on the play. So still no score, as we now have 6:46 left in the first half of football here from St. Gen. Homecoming for the St. Genevieve Dragons after senior night was last week. A very interesting setup. We'll explain it in a minute. As Dunsey begins with a receiver out to his right, 1 out to his left, as the officials have still not blown the whistle to resume play. Now they do. So 3 receivers out to the left side, it looks like, 1 to the right for Dunsey. He's got Brown back there in the backfield with him. Takes a low snap, rolls out to his right. He's got a man deep. If he sees him, he's going to go over the middle, and this ball is caught. It's caught. It is Devin Bader, and he's all the way down just short of the 10-yard line. He actually had 2 men who beat their defenders. It was Bader down the middle of the field, and it looks like it might have been on the play on the right side. Number 6 for St. Gen, Grant Staffen as well. So now, 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line of DeSoto, and Dunsey and company looking to go on the board first. Dunsey is going to not take the snap. It's a direct snap to Brown. Brown running left. Brown running for the end zone, and Brown is just short. So a nice play there from Darian Brown as he makes a few defenders miss, and tricky there from St. Gen. Dunsey back there with Brown, and the snap goes straight to Brown. We saw that a couple times last week. That'll net 9 yards. It's now 2nd and 1 from the 3. So if they pick up 1, they can get a first down and goal, as it's still Dunsey and Brown in the backfield. Dunsey takes the snap. Now he's going to fake it. Look to his sideline for more direction. Dunsey back in there now. Couple receivers out left, 1 out right. Dunsey takes a direct snap, goes up the middle himself, running for the end zone, and he is short, and he fumbled the football. A turnover. Dunsey, he did it so well just a week ago, taking it himself, tried to dive for the end zone, and he fumbled it, and DeSoto recovered near the goal line. Near the 1 is where Dunsey put that one on the floor. And the ruling was DeSoto picked it up, and they did. What a turn of events that was, as St. Gen so close to finally putting some points on the board here in this battle of the Dragons. And instead it's 1st and 10 from the 2-yard line for DeSoto. They're backed up, so they're going to have to get it out of here. Fisher takes the snap, hands off to his back. Going right is Watson, and Watson, after breaking a few tackles, is going to get a nice pickup to about the 7 or 8 yard line. It is to the 7, a 5-yard pickup for Watson. Now under 6 minutes here in the second quarter, and man, that felt like a play that St. Gen is going to want back. And it's funny, we talked to Coach Chris Johnson for DeSoto about some of the points that they left on the board last week. He felt that they could have had. And here, it's their opponent doing it in the second quarter. St. Gen fumbling near the goal line. There's another handoff play, and Pushing past the 10 and breaking a few tackles to the 15 is the back Watson. Cole Watson has had 3 or 4 of those here today, where it looks like he's swallowed up and he just pushes the pile forward. A first down and a huge one as DeSoto digs himself out of trouble. Still deep in St. Gen territory, but now at the 15 as opposed to the 2-yard line where this drive started. .5:25 on the clock as Fisher from the shotgun. He's got 3 men back there with him, couple receivers. He's going to hand off to his back, and breaking another tackle is Watson, and Watson to the 35-yard line. A huge pickup on the play of about 20 yards as Watson, as if he was shot out of a cannon, brings DeSoto even closer to the 50-yard line, now at the 35. Dragons of DeSoto sporting all white uniforms today. And then on the other side, St. Gen, the home team, green jerseys, white pants. Both teams with white helmets. As it's now 1st and 10 from the 35. 4:50 left. No score here in the second quarter. Another handoff goes to Watson, and this time Watson swallowed up. Might have lost a yard. If not, it's no gain. And it'll bring up 2nd and long, and indeed the ball will stay at the 35-yard line, so 2nd and 10 approaching. .424 on the clock here. Still, the rain has stayed away ever since kickoff, which certainly is fortunate for this contest. It's cold enough as it is. You add in rain, and it's going to be downright unpleasant, but for now, things are moving along smoothly. 2nd and 10, Fisher back to pass. He pump fakes, now throws left. He's got a man, and it's over the head of Clayton Snudden. There was a defender there for St. Gen, who also made a play on the ball. And that looked to be Logan Trollinger. So 2 consecutive plays of no gain for the Dragons of DeSoto. 1 on the ground, 1 through the air on an incompletion. And it's 3rd and long. They've been here before, though, as we saw a 3rd and 15 pickup for DeSoto earlier in the game. Can they do it again here? They've got 4 men in the backfield and just 1 receiver out left. Fisher takes the snap, and the whistle blows immediately. That looks like it was false start on the Dragons from DeSoto. Somebody moving a little early, perhaps. Officials going to come together, and indeed it will be false start. Back 5 yards go the DeSoto Dragons, and that'll make it now 3rd and 15 from the 30-yard line. Well, we asked Chris Johnson, coach of DeSoto, does he like these types of games where you have to grind it out? Because that's exactly the type of contest they had, a low-scoring affair against Hillsborough last week, and they got the victory. And, of course, week 1 at Perryville, a 7-6 victory. We've had a couple of these this season, and, of course, the Perryville one was bad conditions just like this contest. Here's a 3rd and 15. Fisher flushed out, throws left. It's deep. He's got a man. Caught on the sideline. What a play. Tiptoeing was Crow Dinger back in after being hurt just a moment ago. And Crow Dinger finds the sweet spot in the defense just over the D-back. A beautiful throw there from Fisher. And yet again, on 3rd and 15, the second time they've done that. They pick it up, do the Dragons of DeSoto, and they're now in the St. Gen territory on the 46-yard line. Fisher has been nothing short of clutch on those plays. As the clock now shows under 4 minutes, it stopped with Crowdinger going out of bounds. 3:52 on the clock as Fisher takes the snap, throws out left, another catch, and again this time it's Snudden. It's been the Snudden and Crow Dinger show, along with a little bit of Andrew Downs in the receiving game. And Snudden picks up 9 on the play to bring up 2nd and 1 from the 37-yard line. Pretty good crowd here for DeSoto that came out here on the road. They've got a nice little contingent right below us. On the other side, St. Gen, probably a little more populated last week when the weather was a tad bit nicer. As Fisher, this snap gets by him, and he's going to have to dive on it at the 50-yard line. Fisher, I don't know if he wasn't ready for the snap or if it was too much to his side. Either way, he didn't corral it, and that's going to be a huge loss as it goes from 2nd and 1 to now 3rd and 14 for DeSoto. And, man, after that 9-yard pickup, you feel like you've got a couple ways you can go with it because you've got 3 plays to just pick up a yard. You know, you can take a shot down the field perhaps, and maybe that's what they had planned. Now it's a necessity with it being 3rd and long, and they'll have to do this again. DeSoto, a couple of 3rd and 15 pickups here today in the first half. This one a yard shorter at 3rd and 14 from midfield. Fisher back to pass. He's going to go a deep ball down to the right side. It's intercepted! Intercepted and running down the left sideline for St. Gen is Brady Boyer. And Boyer at the 20-yard line, now past the 20, is finally taken down. A nice play by Boyer, the senior. Makes a beautiful interception here on homecoming. And now St. Gen in business in the red zone, the 18-yard line of DeSoto. Another chance for St. Gen to go on the board first. They've already squandered one of those opportunities, though, when they fumbled on the goal line in their last possession. Let's see if Dunsey, the quarterback for St. Gen, can take better care of it here. 2:10 on the clock. No score in the second quarter. Brown back there with Dunsey. 1 receiver out left, 3 to the right. Ball near the left hash. Dunsey takes the snap. It's low. He's going to hand it off to Brown. Brown rushing towards the right side. Brown past the 10-yard line to about the 9. Close to the sticks goes Brown. It'll either be 2nd and short or 1st and 10. It's 2nd and 1. And, of course, where they are now, it wouldn't have been 1st and 10. It would have been 1st and goal. As the ball is now placed at the 9-yard line. Dunsey and Brown, the combo in the backfield. 3 receivers out left, 1 to the right. Now the ball's at the right hash. Dunsey squats down, takes the snap. He's going to run it himself up the middle. This time, he takes care of the football. Gets past the 5, it looks like, for a 1st down. And it will indeed be spotted at the 5-yard line. So 1st and goal for St. Gen. Clock ticking at 1:33. So 1st and goal. They've been here before. Can they punch it in this time? Dunsey and Brown in the backfield. Dunsey takes the snap, hands off Brown. Brown goes left guard. Brown lunging for the end zone, and he's in! A touchdown! Darian Brown, the sophomore, gets in the end zone just as he did twice a week ago. Brown, 6-0, St. Genevieve late in the second quarter. So Darian Brown gets it done, and now Chad Dunsey is going to stay out there to kick the extra point. The quarterback holding on the play is Logan Gegg, the backup quarterback, also a wide receiver for this team. Hold down, kick up, and it is good right through the uprights. It's 7-0 St. Gen. They take the lead on a clutch interception that set it up from Boyer, and some nice work by Brown and Dunsey to do the rest. 7-0 St. Gen. Will be back on the other side. Cole's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
Make your backyard a paradise for your whole family. You can do it with a swimming pool. Hi, I'm Angie DeClue with Home Pools and Spas. We can make your vacation destination right outside your back door. Above ground or in ground, you have a choice of selections. Install now for years of great times.
Everybody's going Home Pool and Spa.
To see pools and pricing, go to our website, homepoolsandspas.net. Again, I'm Angie DeClue, owner of Home Pools and Spas, inviting you to stop by. We're located just south of the Leadington exit.
Well, a big score there for St. Gen, obviously, is finally 7-0 in the end of the first half. 1:20 remains on the second quarter clock, and the question now becomes, can DeSoto quickly march up the field and match or perhaps kick a field goal, as it'll be Dunsey with the kickoff here for St. Gen. The interception by Boyer was absolutely massive to set things up. And now here's the kick. It is going to be knelt down, I should say, just past the 25. And starting deep in their own territory will be DeSoto, now down 7-0 with 1:18 left on the clock. So Chris Johnson's squad certainly taking a punch there. But they've shown the ability all season long to punch back, and we'll see what the approach is here, as DeSoto started off with the ball. So St. Gen's going to get the opening kickoff in the second half. That makes that score from the home team even more massive, and now perhaps the onus on the Dragons from DeSoto to get a score on the board. Here's a nice run here. It looks like Watson on the play. That'll bring up second and short on about a 9-yard pickup for the Dragons of DeSoto. Ball's now placed at the 36-yard line. We're under a minute as the clock ticks. 55 seconds now as Fisher and the offense not really going at a very quick speed here, but one chunk play and they'll be in business. Fisher again hands off. It's Watson. Watson breaks free on the right side. Got a first down past the 40 to about the 42 or 43. So clock stops with the first down. 39 seconds. They've got 3 timeouts, and they could use one, but it looks like they're content to let the clock continue to run here. 32 seconds now. 4 men in the backfield, and only one receiver split out to the left side. Again, a run play. It's Watson. Watson, it's a nice little gang till about the 50. 5 or 6 yards, but it looks like DeSoto going conservative here. They will not attempt to get on the board, as we're now under 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5, and, well, with that interception that Fisher threw, perhaps that scared off Chris Johnson from going for it here at the end of the first half. Regardless of the reason, as we enter halftime, in the Battle of the Dragons, it's St. Genevieve taking an early 7-0 lead, as finally they break the seal late in quarter number 2. And we thought it might be a low-scoring affair with the conditions on the field, with it being a lot of rain in the area all day, and certainly that's been the case. Offenses, they've been moving a little bit. It's not like we've seen 3 and out after 3 and out or anything like that. A couple turnover on downs and then an interception. That was huge from St. Gen. And, of course, St. Gen could have more points on the board right now had they not fumbled at the goal line on the previous possession before that. However, the final score from the first half as we go into halftime and await now the second half is 7-0 St. Gen. The 5-2 Dragons over the 4-3 DeSoto Dragons by a touchdown. We'll take a quick break and come back with some analysis from halftime. Keep it right here, though, on the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
Hot and ready pizza is here at your Little Caesars in Herculaneum. They have their famous Little Caesars combo for just $5, and for dinner, pick up a hot and ready cheese, pepperoni, or sausage pizza for just $5.55, or a 5-meat feast, and I mean feast, for just $9. That's Little Caesars off I-55 at the Herculaneum exit behind Cracker Barrel. Open at 10:30, 7 days a week, and be sure to use the Little Caesars app when ordering.
There are lots of things to love about the 2018 Toyota RAV4. Just ask the people who bought one, but be prepared to get an earful. They might mention its versatile build and flexible cargo space. They'll probably rave about its available heated front seats, sport-tuned suspension, and all-wheel drive with dynamic torque control. But the one thing they absolutely won't stop talking about comes standard. The RAV4 suite of advanced safety features, which includes a pre-collision system with pedestrian detection and lane departure alert with steering assist. It's a brilliant bit of technology that helps you respond to changing road conditions. It helps keep you safe without sacrificing performance, and it doesn't cost anything extra. You love it already, don't you? Tested, trusted, Toyota. Toyota. Let's go places.
Lane departure alert and pre-collision systems are not a substitute for safe and attentive driving practices.
See Twin City Toyota. I-55 at the Herculaneum Auto Mall exit. Don't think twice. Think Twin City.
Whatever your educational goals are, you can achieve them at Jefferson College. With caring faculty, convenient locations, and award-winning academic programs, your future is Jefferson College's focus. To learn more, call 636-797-3000 or visit jeffco.edu for a complete list of degrees and programs. Enroll now.
For higher education, for higher expectations, Jefferson College, Jefferson College, and you.
From shredding to mailboxing, the UPS Store does everything for small business, even impressing your customers. When you have your packages professionally packed by our certified packing experts and backed with the pack and ship guarantee to make sure your business looks outstanding. The UPS Store, everything for small business. And of course, shipping. The UPS Store franchise locations are independently owned and operated. Services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
Hi, this is Jim, owner of the UPS Store in Festus in the Gannon Plaza. Come see us for all your printing, shipping, and packaging needs.
Have you ever been to dinner with a friend and realized you don't have cash to split the check? Or do you need to pay the soccer coach for that new uniform? Hi, Paul Hale from New Era Bank, and our new app has just what you need. Our app features person-to-person payments. This allows you to pay from your cell phone directly to someone else's. They receive a text from you and get the money real time, even if you don't bank with us. Check out our website at www.newerabank.com for more information or call one of our locations. Member FDIC.
Are you ready for an exciting new career that offers job security, flexibility, and independence? Rankin Technical College in Perryville is now accepting student applications for a 10-week CDL training class. The Gilster Mary Lee Corporation will provide the necessary funding for program training if your application is approved. You'll receive a benefits package which includes miles paid by the hub, paid downtime, unloading allowances, vacation, Christmas, and holiday bonuses, plus insurance. Call Mike Welker today at 800-851-5371.
At Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy, being locally owned means we get to do pharmacy our way, and that means unmatched customer care. We love to do whatever it takes to help our customers stay healthy. Our staff serves you every day at the very top of their game, offering everything you would want from your hometown pharmacy, including top quality products, medical equipment, immunizations, one-on-one counseling, and so much more. Come see us in Deloge, Fredericktown, Ironton, and Farmington. Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy cares for you and about you.
Comtree Dental is leading in innovation to serve your family in Jefferson County. Find us serving students in more than 80 schools.
Visit our pediatric specialist, the only pediatric dentist accepting Medicaid in Jefferson County.
Receive care in our fully equipped mobile dental clinic.
Call 877-COMTREE or visit us online at comtree.org to schedule an appointment for your smile.
Welcome to our family tree.
He dreams of playing in the big leagues, which is taking a toll on your dreams. Most people don't think about their home insurance until something happens, but talking to an American Family Insurance agent today can mean your dreams have better protection tomorrow. Visit amfam.com/home for a quote and see if your insurance measures up. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Call Bill Bess, agent 573-431-4893 or stop by 907 East Main Street in Park Hills today.
You love to shop at Patsy's.
Hi, I'm Chris. And I'm Jamie with Patsy's Furniture in Park Hills. Today's the last day of our 17th anniversary sale. Take advantage of our store-wide 50% off suggested retail pricing on living rooms, dining rooms, and more. We have 2 years, no interest, and 90 days, same as cash, financing options available. We do appreciate your business.
You'll love to shop at Patsy's. Patsy's Furniture in Park Hills.
Mario's Italia in Farmington serves the best Italian food in the area. Pizza, pastas, calzones, strombolis, salads, and sub-sandwiches. Huge, large portions with the freshest ingredients. Get Mario's full menu online at mariositalia.com. You'll be satisfied with all the choices Mario's has to offer. Dine in or have it delivered or have them cater your next special event. Open 7 days a week, serving lunch and dinner. Mario's Italia, located in the factory at the corner of 1st and A Streets in downtown Farmington.
From faxing to notarizing, the UPS Store is every ing for your small business. And when it comes to protecting your confidential information, shh, quiet! You should know about the shredding services available at the UPS Store. They're just what you need for protecting, securing, and disposing of proprietary documents.
Oh, so I can do less worrying.
The UPS Store, every ing for small business. And of course, shipping.
Hi, this is Jim, owner of the UPS Store in Festus in the Gannon Plaza. Come see us for all your printing, shipping, and packaging needs.
All right, back in here, Cole's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week. It is St. Gen against DeSoto here, and, well, as we run back from the bathroom, I kind of mentioned we got put in the road booth this time as opposed to the home booth. And that's kind of caused a difference of view as we view the field, and, of course, as we try to get to the bathroom, but either way, it's now 7-0 St. Gen, and it's been a low-scoring game, as you can see. St. Genevieve Dragons have played a really good defensive game, and as has DeSoto, but St. Gen, as we now are joined on J98, they've been the ones that have been able to get a score on the board.
Hi, neighbor. Hey, I noticed the new landscaping around your yard. Looks nice.
Hey, thanks. We're doing some home improvements, and we did it all with Potosi Lumber.
Really?
We replaced cabinets, added new carpets, put in storm doors, customized replacement windows, and more.
It's time for home improvements. See Potosi Lumber, Highway 21 in Potosi.
Investing in a degree or certificate from Mineral Area College can pay you dividends. It's why we've been serving the surrounding community since 1922. Studies consistently show people who get an education after high school still earn a lot more in their lifetime. Show yourself you care. Invest in your education. Check MAC out at mineralarea.edu or call us at 573-431-4593 because MAC is your next step.
All right, back in here now on J98 and Web TV, Cole's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week. Had a bit of a mic situation. Our crowd mic decided to almost fall off the edge, so I had to attend to that. But as we rejoin you here, it's 7-0 St. Gen, and again, St. Gen has kind of had a really good defense as we saw against Fredericktown last week and a couple weeks prior to that. And Coach Ken Wyke for St. Gen has really complimented that defensive line. They've been tough, they've been physical, and they've really caused some problems for the opposing team's offensive line, both in the couple weeks before Fredericktown and the week in which we saw them. So that's been a huge advantage for St. Gen. They've got a lot of experience at that spot. And, DeSoto's got a tough offensive line as well, but it's caused certainly some issues. And despite those issues, though, DeSoto's actually moved the ball pretty well on offense despite the 0 points, as they've had a couple of plays where on 3rd and long they've been able to pick it up, and that's thanks to the excellence of their quarterback, Briar Fisher. But Fisher, while he's had a great game, he had that one interception down the sideline that was picked off by the St. Gen defense, and that's what set them up for that score. Now, St. Gen could have another score had they not fumbled on the goal line, but that one pick is going to be one of the biggest plays of this game, and perhaps still, and I mentioned it at the time when it was 0-0, that 0-0 score when St. Gen fumbled the ball at the goal line could still end up being one of the bigger plays of the game should DeSoto end up winning by a touchdown or perhaps even less than that. So it's a great game so far. It's been good defense, good offense, good timely defense, I should say. And that's kind of resulted in this 7-0 score that we see right now in favor of St. Gen. So with about 10 minutes left in halftime, we'll step away. It's the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week, also here on J98 at the moment. I'm Nick Lewis, and we'll return for more analysis in just a moment.
It's time you try Little Caesars and Herculaneum's extra most bestest pepperoni pizza for just $6.55. It's wall-to-wall with delicious pepperoni. Or how about their Ultimate Supreme for just $9.99? Also check out their great tasting wings, crazy bread, cinnamon crazy bites, and so much more. And don't forget Little Caesars mouth-watering dipping sauces. That's Little Caesars just off 555 at the Herculaneum exit. And be sure and use the Little Caesars app so you can pick up your order when you walk in.
When it comes to choosing a pharmacy that can give you exceptional customer service and the best prices, you need to visit Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy. Bigger stores don't always mean bigger savings. Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy is a preferred provider for many insurance plans, including TRICARE and SilverScript, and our employees work hard at making sure you receive the best prices possible. It's time to step out of the line and come see us in Deloge, Fredericktown, Ironton, and Farmington. Parkland Health Mart is your first choice for excellent customer care.
Comtree invites you to a murder mystery night Friday, October 12th at the TBC Banquet Center in Peevely. Hi, this is Ken Kerfman. Dead in Deadwood is a fun and deadly murder mystery, and your $25 ticket will include the show, dinner, dessert, and a cash bar. All proceeds will help build housing for domestic abuse survivors at Mary's House of Hope at a safe place. Get a group together for Dead in Deadwood, Friday, October 12th at the TBC Banquet Center. Go to comtree.org/events or call 636-525-1126 for ticket information.
Go see JR today at Midwest Sports Center. They're just off Highway 67 in Farmington. And JR, just because the weather's getting a little bit cooler doesn't mean the deals are cooling off at Midwest Sports Center.
No, we've got some hot sales going on right now on all of our ATVs and side-by-sides. I've still got some mowers available also. Come see me, JR, at Midwest Sports Center. The number here is 573-756-7975. Just ask for JR.
Go get dirty with Midwest Sports Center today. They're located just off Highway 67 on Walker Drive in Farmington.
Where can you go to have your land loan, construction loan, and permanent financing done all in one place? Bloomsdale Bank does it all. If you can dream it, you can build it with the right financing. Call and speak with one of their expert loan officers about a construction loan today. They service all loans locally. They'll help you make it happen. Visit their website or visit any of their 5 locations in Herculaneum, Crystal City, Bloomsdale, or St. Genevieve. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back in here, Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week. It's halftime here live from St. Gen, and St. Genevieve with a 7-0 lead. The Dragons of St. Gen over the Dragons of DeSoto in this battle of the two teams wearing green. St. Gen today in green jerseys, white pants for the DeSoto Dragons. The road team all whites, but certainly some green trim as well. As both teams coming off of great performances last week. For DeSoto, it was a little bit more dramatic as they defeated Hillsboro by a very slim margin. And then for St. Gen, it was a wide margin in the Fredericktown victory. Either way, both teams kind of feel like they're playing their best football of the season at this juncture. Only thing, that you look back for last week with DeSoto is, they left some points on the board, but they ended up getting the victory anyways. And they've brought that momentum into this week. It's just been a tough St. Gen matchup so far, and they've played defense when they've needed to. They've gotten a few turnovers when they've needed to, and likewise, St. Gen has turned the ball over once as well at the goal line. So it's been a battle of turnovers, timely ones on defense, and then both teams really moving the ball, controlling the field when they have the football. And then, when you pin them deep, both teams have been able to dig themselves out of it. So it's been quite the interesting matchup, and you almost wish that interception that Briar Fisher threw, just as a neutral viewer of the game, could come back, because, man, we were almost going into halftime at 0-0. Had Fisher not tried to force that ball down the field, perhaps that would have been what happened. But as it is a 7-0 St. Gen lead at the moment, as we have about 6, 7, 8 minutes or so left in halftime as the homecoming proceedings are kind of taking place right now. They were at midfield, and now they're on the far side of the field, just short of the track. So we're kind of watching that unfold as well here at St. Gen. We'll be back with more in just a little bit. Again, as halftime begins to wind down, 7-0 St. Genevieve over de Soto. Right here on J98 and the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
Hi, this is Brad Smith at Lucas Smith Chrysler Center. Lucas Smith Chrysler is more than just your local Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Jeep dealer. We sell and service to the entire Jefferson County area. So while you're listening to this sports broadcast, no matter if it's the Tigers, the Hornets, the Blue Jays, the Lancers, the Dragons, or the Hawks, remember, we are and we support the entire Jefferson County area and its sports teams. We are Lucas Smith Chrysler Center off Highway A in Festus, your home of the No Bull deal.
Home of the No Bull deal. Lucas Smith Chrysler. No Bull.
This is Myrna from the YMCA. Parents, mark your calendars. Kids Night Out at the Y will be Saturday, October 20th from 6 to 10. Kids ages 5 to 12 are invited to the Jefferson County Y for a safe, supervised evening of fun. Parents, you get the evening off to relax. Kids can swim, play in the gym, make Halloween masks, and enjoy many other activities. $12 for members and $17 per non-member. Registration closes at noon on Friday, October 19th. Register by calling 636-931-9622 today.
Everybody's going home, pool and spa.
For you in-ground pool owners, it's that time again. Yes, time's near to close your pool. The leaves will be falling soon enough. Hi, I'm Jason DeClue, owner of Home Pools and Spas. We're taking reservations for pool closings. We'll save you a lot of work. If a problem exists in your pool when it's closed, it will still be there come spring, only worse. Let us do the job for you. Home Pools and Spas on the Outer Road, just south of Ludington exit.
Gilster Mary Lee is hiring CDL drivers. They train those without experience and hire experienced drivers year-round. They will consider drivers 18 to 20 for a local position. Tuition reimbursement is offered for driving academies. Gilster has a private fleet with a terminal in southeast Missouri. Drivers are home weekly, earn hub miles, downtime, and unloading pay. Christmas vacation and holiday bonus rounds out the pay package. Low-cost insurance with prescription and access to the company store for discounted grocery shopping. Gilster Mary Lee is also accepting owner-operator applications for round-trip loads. Miles are paid equally. Downtime is paid and no-touch freight. They offer their fuel card for discounted purchases of fuel and parts. Easy Pass and Pre-Pass are available, and there's plenty of volume. Earn a living as a driver and still be home for those quality family experiences. They have schedule stability, a stress-free environment, and a dependable paycheck. Call Mike Welker at 800-851-5371 or find them online or talk with one of their many drivers.
Make it a great family night at Applebee's Bar and Grill in Farmington. Hi, my name is Amy Cousins, General Manager at your local store. Maybe start out with a couple of appetizers, boneless wings, onion rings, mozzarella sticks, spinach artichoke dip, chicken quesadilla. There's so much to choose from. Let the kids pick from the kids menu, then for yourself, choose one of our favorites. Steaks, ribs, seafood, pasta, we have it all. Go to Applebee's.com for the full menu and look for our happy hour prices. Doing good in the neighborhood, Applebee's Bar and Grill in Farmington.
Josh Harris on the line from Midwest Sports Center, Highway 67 in Farmington. Josh, it's always a great time to shop at Midwest Sports Center, but especially so right now.
With the factory authorized clearance, whether you want on the road, off the road, or on the water, we've got rebates up to $4,000. Stop in and see us, 124 Walker Drive, Farmington.
What's the phone number?
573-756-7975.
That's Josh Harris at Midwest Sports Center in Farmington.
Welcome back to St. Gen. It is Web TV, and we're also now being joined on J98, Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week. Winding down halftime, just a couple minutes left until we resume play. St. Gen, the team wearing green jerseys tonight, up 7-0 over the team in white in DeSoto. The visiting Dragons down against the home Dragons in this battle of the two teams with the same mascot. Both teams are looking to improve their records. Obviously, St. Gen 5-2 right now, DeSoto 4-3, and with just one more week left in the regular season after this, it's do or die time as far as gaining momentum. Obviously, if you lose this one, your season's not over, but if you really want to start carrying some momentum towards playoff time, you've got this week and you got next week. And what better chance than this week for both of these teams playing against teams that are really good. As far as St. Gen, they proved that with the blasting of Fredericktown just a week ago, and DeSoto getting over those demons against Hillsboro as well just 7 days prior to this contest. So both teams coming on a high, both teams looking to exit even higher than they are right now, and of course whoever loses this one will be a little bit deflated, but both teams have really shown me something early in this game, and of course St. Gen we saw last week as well. So it's been an impressive performance. We hope it stays close, and it'll certainly be a far cry from last week when we took the entire second half under a running clock. That will not be the case here today, and we should not see a running clock at all for that matter unless something crazy happens with this tally as it is right now at 7-0. We'll take one more break and come back for the second half right here on the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
If you have water or fire damage in your home or business, call Bryant Restoration at 986-3260. Hi, I'm Reggie Aubuchon, owner of Bryant Restoration. At Bryant Restoration, we strive to provide an efficient, transparent experience to help take the stress out of your situation. Bryant Restoration is IICRC certified, and we work with all insurance companies. Locally owned and operated, we have locations in St. Francis County and Poplar Bluff, covering all of southeast Missouri. We'd like to wish all local high school athletes good luck this season. Bryant Restoration, online at BryantRestorationCo.com.
Kohl's Tractor and Equipment continues to be the leader of compact tractor sales for St. Francis and surrounding counties. How, you ask? It's simple. By selling the best quality for the best price with the proven best warranty on the market. Hi, it's Hannah with LS, the major brand maker of 2 other brands. Brands that you already know and love. At Kohl's Tractor and Equipment, you get that same franchise quality with the best 6-year parts and labor warranty and more standard features than I can name in this 60-second ad. This month, get the 35 horsepower 4-wheel drive diesel tractor with loader and skid steer front bucket for only $16,999. That's right, get the 35 horsepower compact diesel tractor with loader for only $16,999. Give us a call today, 573-756-4353, or stop by Kohl's Tractor and Equipment, 1 mile east of Farmington on Highway 32. Kohl's Tractor and Equipment. Don't just follow the herd, lead the herd.
Are you tired of calling your mortgage lender and not being able to talk to anyone, or you're transferred over and over again? Skip the hassle and refinance with Bloomsdale Bank. Call today and speak with one of their expert loan officers. Have a personalized borrowing experience and rest easy knowing your loan will be serviced locally when you borrow with Bloomsdale Bank. Visit their website or visit any of their 5 locations in Herculaneum, Crystal City, Bloomsdale, or St. Genevieve. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When it's all said and done, what really matters? For Serenity Hospice Care patient Jack, hospice isn't about giving up. It's not about the end. It's about right now. It's about spending precious time with the people we love.
Come on, Grandpa!
And the little moments that create lasting memories. It's focusing on what's important to you and remembering life is beautiful in all stages.
When life changes, where can you get the health care that you or your loved one needs? Try Presbyterian Manor, where we consider you family. Being a member of our family means having a skilled, compassionate team, making sure you live your best life. Call 573-756-6768 today and schedule a visit to see why the community voted us the best independent living, best assisted living, and best skilled nursing community in the Parkland area.
We are back here in St. Gen for the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week. It is half number 2, and it is just about to begin. Kicking off will be DeSoto. They'll send it deep to St. Genevieve, who leads 7-0 as we begin the third quarter. St. Gen scoring a run by Darian Brown, the sophomore running back for the home team. It was all set up by an interception, and that interception got St. Gen to about the 18-yard line of DeSoto, and they only needed a couple plays to punch it in, We are ready for the kickoff from DeSoto. 12 minutes on the clock here in the third. And back deep is St. Gen with a couple returners standing at the 10-yard line. The kick is away. It will be received at about the 20. Here comes the return back, and it looks like it is going to be Brown on the return. And he gets upended just past the 35 at about the 36 or the 37-yard line. And so Brown, who scored the touchdown on the ground, he is also a talented kick returner, and he takes one for about 16, 17 yards or so, and gives St. Gen pretty good starting field position here in quarter number 3 from the 38-yard line of DeSoto. So now 11:51 on the clock. That kick return taking all of 9 seconds. 3 receivers split out left, 1 to the right. The football is at the left hash for Chad Dunsey, who begins things by throwing out to his right. That pass is caught by Devin Bader, and right as he caught it, a flag was thrown. He caught it at about the 44, was pushed back a little bit, and you wonder if that was potentially offensive pass interference on the play. See what the call is here, as it was on the catch, and it's a sideline infraction, and it's on DeSoto. So no offensive PI. Bader clean on the catch. Instead, a penalty on the sideline of DeSoto, and that'll set up now second down. And see, it doesn't appear that infraction is going to net any yards for St. Gen, so perhaps just a warning. Although the officials have yet to blow the whistle. Ball is currently spotted at the 41, and indeed it'll just be the 3 yards on the catch. Ball now goes to the right hash. Brown back there with Dunsey, 1 receiver out right. 3 bunched up to the left side. As Dunsey in the shotgun, ready for the snap, takes it. No, it's going to be Brown on the direct snap to the running back, and Brown getting around the corner on the left side. Brown, a big run to the 45, jumps over a man at about the 41-yard line. He finally goes down, and he's into DeSoto territory. It's been a great game for Darian Brown. A couple touchdowns last week. He's got 1 on the day for the only score of the contest for either team. And believe it or not, at 5'6", 149, the speedy sophomore, as long as he's healthy, is the bell cow of this team. And he should be that for the next couple of years as well. As Dunsey back in there. Now with the ball at the 41, it's 1st and 10. Dunsey crouches down, takes a low snap, and a flag is going to be thrown right away. This might be false start. And what was 1st and 10 will now become 1st and 15. It is indeed a 5-yard penalty on the offense. And we talked about it in the first quarter. Penalties, not much of an issue, as in fact there were no penalty flags thrown in the first quarter. Few were thrown in quarter number 2. But overall, it's been a pretty clean game. It's now 1st and 15, though, for St. Gen on the penalty, as they move back to the 46-yard line. Dunsey back there in the shotgun with Brown back there as well. Handoff will go to Brown. Brown's going to bust one towards the left side, and he's going to push the pile to about the 41-yard line on the play. A nice pickup for Brown. So he gets a little bit physical at, like I mentioned just a moment ago, only 5'6", 149. Now we don't have official height and weights for DeSoto, but Cole Watson certainly a lot bigger than Brown, and he's more known for carrying piles, and he's done that plenty of times here today. But Brown, he did it a little bit there, and he nets his team 5 yards back to the original line of scrimmage for St. Gen. It's now 2nd and 10 from the 41. Snap goes to Brown. Brown, the running back, goes right now, cuts back left, and Brown's got room to run, and Brown might get there. 20, 15, 10. He is upended just past the 5-yard line. Brown showing off the speed. He swept right and then took himself to the opposite field, all the way to the left side. and with his superior speed was able to set up now a 1st and goal for St. Jen at the 6-yard line. What a run for Brown as he does it again. Dunsey back there with Brown. Brown with his hands on his knees. He's been used a lot on this drive. Let's see if they go to him again. Dunsey readies for the snap. Dunsey's going to take it himself up the middle. Lead blocker is Brown. Dunsey scoots forward to about the 1, maybe the 2-yard line. And they will call it the 1. So 5 yards on the carry by Dunsey. 2nd and goal from the 1, and got to remember that St. Jen fumbled in this very scenario back in half number 1. It was the 2nd quarter. Now in the 3rd quarter, as St. Jen looks to go up 2 scores. Dunsey looks over to his sideline now. Brown back there with him. 3 receivers out right, 1 out left. Dunsey changing the play. Now he's going to take the snap. He will hand it off. Brown stuffed originally, moves the pile forward, and Brown is going to come up short of the end zone. And now no gang on the play. It is 3rd and goal from the 1. And what will they go to here? Looks like it's still going to be Dunsey and Brown back there. Or will they go to Gegg behind center as they've done a few times this season? Certainly saw that last week. And it will be Gegg back there behind center. Jumbo package. Gegg takes the handoff. Hands off to one of his big linemen who's going to get stuffed short of the goal line. And that was an interesting setup. Looks like number 76, Dakota Arnold, on the carry. Dakota Arnold coming in at 5'10", 230. He came in for a carry there. And the trickeration does not work as it's going to be a loss of 1. It's now 4th and goal from the 2. And the question is, will they settle for 3 or will they try and punch it in one more time? So Dakota Arnold, an offensive tackle. He's still in the backfield, and the jumbo package still on with Gegg. Gegg back there with Arnold and Brown, and now St. Genevieve will burn a timeout here on 4th and goal. 7-0's the score, 7:57 on the 3rd quarter clock. We'll be right back in just a moment on the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
Make your backyard a paradise for your whole family. You can do it with a swimming pool. Hi, I'm Angie DeClue with Home Pools and Spas. We can make your vacation destination right outside your back door. Above ground or in ground, you have a choice of selections. Install now for years of great times.
Everybody's going home, pool and spa.
To see pools and pricing, go to our website, homepoolsandspas.net. Again, I'm Angie DeClue, owner of Home Pools and Spas, inviting you to stop by. We're located just south of the Leadington exit.
Well, back in now at the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week. It's going to be 4th and goal for St. Jen at the 2-yard line. They tried to hand it off to one of their big offensive linemen, Dakota Arnold, on 3rd and goal from the 1. That didn't work. They lost a yard on the trickeration. And the question is, what will they do now? As it would be a short field goal for Chad Dunsey, who is the quarterback and kicker. Or they could try and punch it in. Looks like Gegg will still be out there behind center as they set up in that jumbo package they like. So they're going to go for it here on 4th and goal from the 2. Gegg behind center. Gegg is going to hand it off to Brown. A reverse, and now looking to throw to the end zone. And a catch for Logan Gegg. A trick play, and Logan Trollinger ends up throwing it as Brown took the handoff. A reverse back to Trollinger, and Trollinger throws it to Gegg, who started it off by handing it off to Brown. A touchdown for St. Genevieve. It is 13-0, Dragons here at home. So they go 2 trick plays consecutively. The first one unsuccessful, that one works. Now Dunsey back in, high snap, Gegg gets it down. Dunsey's kick is up and good. And the home team, St. Jen, takes a 2-touchdown lead, 14-0 here at homecoming. We'll take a quick break, be right back. Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
Hot and ready pizza is here at your Little Caesars in Herculaneum. They have their famous Little Caesars combo for just $5, and for dinner, pick up a hot and ready cheese, pepperoni, or sausage pizza for just $5.55, or a 5-meat feast, and I mean feast, for just $9. That's Little Caesars off I-55 at the Herculaneum exit behind Cracker Barrel. Open at 10:30, 7 days a week, and be sure to use the Little Caesars app when ordering.
There are lots of things to love about the 2018 Toyota RAV4. Just ask the people who bought one, but be prepared to get an earful. They might mention its versatile build and flexible cargo space. They'll probably rave about its available heated front seats, sport-tuned suspension, and all-wheel drive with dynamic torque control. But the one thing they absolutely won't stop talking about comes standard: the RAV4 suite of advanced safety features, which includes a pre-collision.
All right, back in here, Cole's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week as the kickoff goes to DeSoto. And DeSoto is going to start off here as the rain comes down a little bit harder now than it has been. We had pretty clear skies for the duration of the first half, but now as we get things started in half number 2, it has not quite been the story, and you might be able to even hear it through our crowd mic as the rain picks up steam on our roof just above us. So DeSoto is going to start off on the 43, desperately needing some forward momentum, probably a score here, as it will be Briar Fisher back there, the quarterback. He hands it off to Watson. Watson bounces right, breaks a few tackles, and is down at about the 47 or the 48 for a 4 or 5 yard gain. Hatfield on the tackle for St. Gen. 7:30 left in quarter number 3. They will call it a 5 yard gain for Watson on the run. So St. Gen getting tricky there with Trollinger, a wide receiver, making the touchdown throw to Logan Gegg, who is a wide receiver but was set up at quarterback on that last play. So pretty interesting setup there for St. Gen. This handoff goes to Watson, and Watson is going to find himself at the 48 or the 49 after another short gain. That'll bring up 3rd down for the Dragons of DeSoto. And the road team, who has been fantastic on 3rd down tonight, could really use another pickup here. And quite honestly, they've had 3rd down conversions of much more than this. They've seen a couple 3rd and 15s get through, a few other 3rd and double digits. Here's the snap. Handoff will go to Watson, and Watson is stuffed short of midfield for no gain, maybe a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 4 from the 49 yard line. So no gain. And now DeSoto with a decision to make. They're just at about midfield. If you punt it away, you could work the field position game, but obviously you're running out of possessions and you need points. And it looks like the offense on that note is going to stay out on the field and risk it all here. 6 minutes left here in quarter number 3. 4th and 4. Fisher's got 2 back there with him. Fisher pump fakes, looks deep left down the sideline, batted up and incomplete. Into double coverage to Clayton Snudden went the throw, and Snudden had no chance. Defenders were on it for St. Gen. And turning it over on downs here will be DeSoto. So 5:50 left in the 3rd. And St. Gen's going to get fantastic field position after just scoring a moment ago. Not a very long drive for DeSoto. And you just hope, for their sake, that their defense had enough time to rest their legs before having to come back out here against the dangerous Dunsey at quarterback and Brown at the running back position. Dunsey's going to take the snap. He will run it himself. He runs into a wall, a white wall of DeSoto, just past the 50-yard line to about the 48. It's a 2-yard gain on the play, and now into DeSoto territory is St. Gen. It's 2nd and 8. St. Gen moving left to right as we view the field. As the home team certainly could go to a heavy dose of the run game here, although on that note, they'll throw out to the right, and that pass is dropped by Devin Bader, who was wide open, but saw it slip through his hands just short of the 40-yard line. And the reason I suggest that perhaps they could go to the run is with a 14-0 lead, it is a little too early to think about running the clock out, but every pass is a bit of a risk. With the ball getting wet, the rain now picking back up, and you just don't want to turn the ball over at the end of the day. And of course, ironically, their one turnover was on the ground. But at the same time, you're more likely to take care of the ball if you are running. That might be the name of the game, though. It's 3rd and 8, and Dunsy's going to look to throw. He pump fakes. Now he's looking deep down the right sideline. He's got a man Bader, and he's going to fall down, and that pass was well over his head. And Bader perhaps slipping on the wet surface. Regardless, though, it was going to be too far. And St. Gen, it's going to go 3 and out, and the men from DeSoto going to catch a break, as not only will St. Gen give it back, but they give it back after not really gaining any yards. So 4th and 8, 5:05 left in quarter number 3. Dunsey, who handles all of the kicking, will punt it away here. High in the air towards the left side. It's going to bounce at the 25 and now bounce past the 20 to the 15, all the way towards the 11-yard line. And once again, Chad Dunsey with a punt that where it landed wouldn't have been fantastic, but he got the top spin and the roll, and instead pins DeSoto deep once again, this time at the 11-yard line. It's now 4:55. That punt play takes about 10 seconds on the long roll. And again, same situation for DeSoto. In their own territory, they need to dig themselves out and then look to score. This St. Genevieve defense, you wouldn't say it's been stifling, but when they've needed to make a play, they have. See if Briar Fisher, the quarterback for DeSoto, can make his own plays. Got a couple back there with him. He claps his hands, hands it off, and a flag is thrown. That looks like it's going to be false start. As whistle was blown as the ball was snapped. It's usually not a good sign for the offense. And indeed, it will be a false start. Moving backwards 5 yards is DeSoto. .454 on the clock. Here in quarter number 3, 14-0 is the advantage for St. Genevieve. Looking for 2 straight home victories in big moments. Senior night last week, homecoming this week. Fisher back to pass. Fisher from his own end zone throws, and it's batted down. Intended for number 44 on the play, Andrew Downs, the tight end. But we might see pass interference here on the defense, as right as the defender arrived, a flag was thrown. And indeed, it will be PI. So mistiming the contact with the receiver was the St. Gen defender. I think it was number 14, Brady Boyer. And now, a huge break, especially considering the fact that DeSoto had just shot themselves in the foot with a false start penalty. Now it is 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. So new life for DeSoto. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Briar Fisher, at the quarterback position. Leader of the team, and according to Coach Chris Johnson, does everything right. And when your leader does everything right and he's your quarterback, that's a great situation to be in. Fisher's going to look out to the right, medium deep throw, and this one's batted down as defenders swarming the intended receiver just past the 25-yard line. And that'll bring up now 2nd and 10. Looked like they were going for Downs, the tight end, who's made a couple of plays here today, including one, a screenplay that would have set up 1st and goal for DeSoto in the first half. It was called back, though, due to a hold. 3 receivers out, 2 to the right, 1 to the left, ball at the left hash. And being flushed out of the pocket is Fisher, but on the run, completes an accurate pass on the play to number 24, Cameron Brooks. And that was a very difficult throw as Fisher felt the pressure up the middle, had to roll out. Made a throw on the run to the middle of the field, and Brooks, in these wet conditions, makes the catch. Ball's now at the 30-yard line, and they just missed picking up the first down on that play. It's going to be 3rd and 1, so job is not done here, as they still need 1 more yard to move the sticks. Fisher back there with 3 men, and it looked like they might have got St. Gen to jump off sides, and that will be the call. So Fisher tricks St. Gen into jumping off sides and nets the first down through the penalty as opposed to having to run a play. So that'll work. A couple of brutal penalties for St. Gen on this drive have really assisted DeSoto, and now's the time you take advantage of it. 3:48 left in quarter number 3, still 14-0 St. Gen. You got 2 receivers split out to the left, 1 out to the right, and again, it looks like St. Gen might have jumped off sides, and no, this time it's going to be a false start on Briar Fisher and the offense for DeSoto. Now the contingent here just below us, as I mentioned at halftime, we're on the visiting side, as opposed to last week when we were on the home side. They all got excited thinking what I thought, which was it was 2 in a row on an offsides. Instead, though, it's going to be a false start, which pushes DeSoto back 5 yards, and what was once a clean game, no penalties in quarter number 1, now is mired with penalties in the 3rd quarter. Fisher is going to roll out to his left, throw to the far side, and nice completion there on the throw there to Snudden. And Snudden makes the play, the number 1 receiver for DeSoto. And that'll be good for a gain of 12 on the play. It was 1st and 15, so now 2nd and 3 from the 42-yard line. Fisher's made a nice couple of throws on his possession on the run. Here he fakes to his halfback. He's going to go deep over the middle of the field. Dangerous pass into double coverage. Luckily for him, incomplete. Intended receiver there was Snudden. And that'll bring up 3rd and 3. Not the end of the world there, as you still only need 3 yards to pick up. And now we see an injured St. Genevieve Dragon, and we'll step away for a second, as he's attended to right here on the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
Whatever your educational goals are, you can achieve them at Jefferson College. With caring faculty, convenient locations, and award-winning academic programs, your future is Jefferson College's focus. To learn more, call 636-797-3000 or visit jeffco.edu for a complete list of degrees and programs. Enroll now.
For higher education, for higher expectations, Jefferson College, Jefferson College, and you.
Welcome back into the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week. Austin Keene was the injured man for St. Gen. Keene, a running back, also plays a little wide receiver and some defensive back, which is the position he was playing right there. He comes out of the game, and we're just about ready to resume play here. It'll be 3rd and 3 for DeSoto. They went deep on 2nd and 3. thinking that they had a couple plays to pick up 3 yards, and now they'll need to dial in and make sure they do get the first down. Briar Fisher back there with a running back. 2 receivers out left, 2 out right. Bunched to the left, split out wide on the right. This is a handoff to Watson, and Watson is going to carry it right at the sticks. He needed the 39, or excuse me, the 45. And it looks like he came up just a little bit short, at least on first look. And you can hear the displeasure through our crowd mic from the DeSoto contingent right below us. They will be inches short on 4th down, but they might decide to measure it, and it looks like they will. Well, isn't this a huge one? I think DeSoto might go for it anyway, but see how much they need to get, or if they need to get any at all. They are a little bit short. Inches, indeed. 4th and inches from the 44-yard line. They need the 45. And again, as we mentioned, DeSoto fans showing up pretty well for this road game, certainly considering the weather. Some have filed out as it's gotten colder and the rain has picked up here in the second half, so that hasn't helped matters either. But the fans getting loud here as DeSoto needs this 4th down conversion on 4th and inches at their own 44. 4 men in the backfield, including the quarterback Fisher. And the snap looks to be muffed, and a flag was thrown at the false start. Going back 5 yards will be DeSoto, and now you think they probably got a punt. They're all the way back at their own 39. And, you know, with it being inches, that seemed feasible. But now, in your own territory this far, you pretty much have to punt, and it looks like they will as they make mass substitutions to get the special teams out on the field. Clock continues to run, just 1:50 left in quarter number 3. St. Jen still leads 14-0 over DeSoto, who's going to punt right here. Snap low, and kick is away. It's going to bounce past the 40, roll all the way to the 30, and it'll get about the 29, maybe the 28, where it stops, and that's where St. Jen will begin their drive. No return on the play. 1:31 on the clock, and now something I alluded to on the last drive, but is about 5 minutes have come off the clock since then. You got to think St. Jen is going to get to that point where they're running the ball a lot more than they're throwing the ball. It's going to be important to knock time off the clock, and they've got a quarterback that can run in Dunsey and a running back, just a sophomore, in Darian Brown, who's having a star performance here today. 3 receivers out right, 1 to the left. This handoff will go to Brown. Brown goes up the middle, and he's going to get a few yards before he stops. But again, the major thing here is to pick up a few first downs for sure. But overall, and this is despite the fact that we're not even to the 4th quarter yet, but with the way that St. Jen's defense has been playing, you got to think that if you just use some time, it's going to be hard for DeSoto to score quickly. So 2nd and 5 after a 5-yard pickup by Brown. And indeed, St. Jen will be happy to use most of the play clock here. It's down to 8 seconds, now 7-6-5. Snap's finally made. Dunsey's going to throw it short to the right. It is caught by Bader, and Bader's going to be down close to the first down, and he will have it. So there it is, a short throw, and a low-risk one at that. If it's completed, good, we're using clock, and if we get a first down out of it, even better. That's the thinking for St. Jen. And now a 1st and 10 with 35 seconds left from the 40-yard line. Dunsey will keep the snap himself, run up the middle, and he'll have 3 or 4 yards on the carry. As St. Jen continues to milk clock, and 22 seconds left in this quarter. Be hard to imagine that they're going to run another play here. And they will not. 2nd and 7. We'll have to wait for quarter number 4. It is 14-0 St. Gen. And the home team 12 minutes away from a homecoming victory right here on Web TV. We'll take a quick break with them and come back for the final quarter of action right here from St. Genevieve. 14-0 the score. St. Genevieve over DeSoto right here on the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
From shredding to mailboxing, the UPS Store does everything for small business, even impressing your customers. When you have your packages professionally packed by our certified packing experts and backed with the pack and ship guarantee to make sure your business looks outstanding. The UPS Store, everything for small business. And of course, shipping. The UPS Store franchise locations are independently owned and operated. Services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
Hi, this is Jim, owner of the UPS Store in Festus in the Gannon Plaza. Come see us for all your printing, shipping, and packaging needs.
Have you ever been to dinner with a friend and realized you don't have cash to split the check? Or do you need to pay the soccer coach for that new uniform? Hi, Paul Hale from New Era Bank, and our new app has just what you need. Our app features person-to-person payments. This allows you to pay from your cell phone directly to someone else's. They receive a text from you and get the money real time, even if you don't bank with us. Check out our website at www.newerabank.com for more information or call one of our locations. Member FDIC.
Back in here for quarter number 4 of play. Brown's going to take it up the middle himself as the running back gets the direct snap. That's how we will begin quarter number 4. It's now going to be 3rd and short for St. Genevieve, leading 14-0 here. The home team, if they can net a couple more first downs, can really put the pressure on DeSoto whenever they get the ball back. Certainly, if they can score again, that would be a death blow as well. 3rd and 3 it is. 13 on the play clock, now 10-9-8. And again, Dunzee's content to use it all. Dunzee takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Brown, goes up the middle himself, and Dunzee looks to be short of the first down. He needed midfield, and I think he's at the 49. And indeed, it will be 4th and 1. And now, an interesting decision here for St. Gen. You can punt it away and pin DeSoto deep, or you can trust your offense to get 1 yard and just continue to eat up clock. It looks like they're going to keep the offense out there to try and get that 1 yard. And I think this is what I would do as well. Dunzee from the shotgun. Again, is going to use the play clock. 10, 9, 10:35 on the game clock now. Sends Brown a little bit to the right, and indeed, it's actually going to be a pooch punt. Dunzee is going to take the snap, punt it away, and what a bounce he's going to get to about the 10, now past the 10 to the 6-yard line or so, as Dunzee set up as if he was going to continue running the offense, and that prevented DeSoto from sending anybody back deep. So no return possible on the play, and instead we'll call it the 7-yard line is where DeSoto will start it out. So couldn't have been executed any better than it was by St. Gen. And now a long field. They'll have to go 93 yards if they want a touchdown. Will Briar Fisher and the players from DeSoto. They've got 10:22 to do that. And then get the ball again and score another time. Here's a low snap picked up on the shoestrings there by Fisher. Nice throw, though, past the 15-yard line. And on the catch is Clayton Snudden. Number 1 receiver, Snudden, on the play. And that should bring up 2nd and short. 2nd and 1 it will be. As that one's as close to a first down as you can get, and I think on that note we're going to see a measurement. Don't always see a measurement on 2nd down, but in this situation, every play is so crucial if DeSoto wants to make a comeback, so they'll check it out. And just a little bit short indeed. Again, it's rare, but there's a big difference between 2nd and 1 and 1st and 10 as far as play calling is concerned in this spot. Now that it's 2nd and 1, there's a good chance that Fisher, needing chunk yards, will air one out. and then try and pick up the 1 yard on third. And on that note, an empty backfield. 2 receivers out left, 3 to the right. And Fisher in the shotgun, and it's a low snap. Again, he has to pick it up by his shoestrings, and he made a nice effort just to get the throw away, but it's over the head of his intended receiver, Cameron Brooks. And just miscommunications there. And of course, it doesn't help that the ball is likely soaking wet down there. Certainly doesn't make the snaps any easier, and having to go from the shotgun won't make it simpler either. But again, Fisher is in the shotgun with 5 wide. Same formation as before. This time the snap is good. Throw out to the left is complete for a first down at about the 25-yard line. It's a nice play there from number 6, Jeremy Harmon on the catch. Briar Fisher dials one up. After trying to just make it work with some of these snaps, it's been tough. And you certainly don't blame the offensive line for DeSoto having to work in these tough conditions. Again, 5 wide. Haven't seen a lot of this today, but Fisher and the offense needing yards and points in a hurry. Here's a throw out to the right side of the field. It's dropped by Clayton Snudden. On the run was Fisher. He saw pressure. Made a nice throw. It's Snudden could not hold on, and it wouldn't have been for a whole lot of yards anyway. But that brings up 2nd and 10 from their own 25 for DeSoto. 9:26 on the clock now, 14-0 still to score in favor of St. Gen. A far cry from the amount of points that they scored last week, over 50. But the defense has held strong, and certainly the level of competition has been elevated for St. Gen here at home, going from Fredericktown to DeSoto. And again, a 5 wide look. This time a man in motion, though, and a handoff will go to that man in motion, who is upended for a huge loss. Jeremy Harmon, who just made a first down catch, goes on the end around, and snuffing it out was the St. Gen defense. It's a huge gamble there, and it does not pay off, and now it's 3rd and 18. And you know exactly what St. Gen's going to do here. They're going to drop men back. Probably will only rush 3 or 4, you'd think. Because a 4th down here would mean almost a certain punt. Despite the dire situation for the offense for DeSoto, they do rush 3. Fisher throws down the middle of the field, and it's too high for his intended receiver. That was Crow Dinger. They get no yards on 3rd, and here comes the punting team on 4th and 18. Good decision there from head coach Ken Wyke. Rushes 3, drops everyone else back. And there was simply nowhere really for Fisher to go with the ball. So the Road Dragons here will punt this ball away. 8:38 left in the final quarter. This one's high but not very far to the right side. It's going to bounce down past the 40, go out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. And so St. Gen will have pretty good field position, but again, their primary objective right now is to run clock. And they've done that pretty well to this point. See if they can continue to do it here. With the run game that they have, with Dunsey, their quarterback, really putting together every aspect of his game last week against Fredericktown, including the run, and of course Darian Brown. This is exactly the situation you don't want to be in if you're DeSoto, having to stop these tough runners of St. Gen. Snap goes to Dunsey. Dunsey hands off to Brown. Brown makes a man miss a juke, and now he's going to go to the right side. Around the corner he goes. Brown towards the sideline. Brown is finally pushed out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. And now for St. Gen, deep into DeSoto territory. There is a flag on the play, but if it holds up, DeSoto is looking at quite possibly needing a turnover. However, this play is coming back. Holding on St. Gen will negate the play. So nice run by Brown, but it's in vain. And that'll bring up an interesting 1st and 14. Spot foul there on the holding. Rain continues to come down. It's not particularly hard anymore, but certainly still precipitating here in St. Genevieve. 8:20 on the clock, 14-0 the score. Dunzee's going to pass this time, and he completes it. No, it's dropped by Gegg. Logan Gegg found himself wide open just past the 45-yard line. And again, St. Gen going for either a run or a short pass every time. But again, that wet football might have caused the usually sure-handed Gegg some problems as he drops that one to the surface. 2nd and 14 as the clock stops. 8:16 is the reading as Brown is going to take this handoff. Brown breaks a few tackles. Brown breaks free. Brown to the 25, the 20. Makes another man miss. Cuts back towards the middle and down at about the 10-yard line. Darian Brown. Another nice run. This time it's going to hold up. No flags on the play. And this sophomore is electric. He's not very big, but he's fast. And you get him in the open field, that's what's going to happen. Huge pickup for St. Gen. It's now 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. And we've got a little bit of a break in the action here as Dunzee looks to his sideline. No reason to rush. Use all that play clock, you might as well. Play clock at 10, now 9. Game clock at 7:45. Dunzee from the shotgun. Brown back there with him. Brown's going to take the direct snap. Brown trying to get around the corner on the right side. He's down just past the 10, now pushing the pile a little bit. A flag on the play, though, and I think this is going to be another hold, as it happened right as Brown was kind of entering the hole, and indeed it will be a penalty on St. Gen. .36 on the clock. As another penalty for St. Gen, but good chance it may not end up mattering as long as they can run some more clock. Dragons here looking to improve to 6-2, the St. Genevieve Dragons. The DeSoto Dragons hoping to avoid falling to 4-4, but right now that looks to be what's going to occur, barring a massive turn in momentum here. Time's running out on the road team. Call it 1st and 19. 1st and goal from the 19, I should say, as Dunzee fakes the handoff to his running back Brown, takes it himself right side, and he runs out of bounds. It's probably not what head coach Ken Wyke would have liked. So he gets 5 yards, call it 6. Unfortunately, though, the clock stopped at 7:07. Second and 13. No need to use up all the play clock this time, although it is down to 12. Dunzee sets up with Brown. Dunzee's going to run it out to the right side, spin, and be taken down. Did he stay in bounds that time? Hard to tell from our vantage point, but the clock has stopped at 7 minutes, so it would appear he did not. And so now, you've got a couple options if you're St. Gen. It's 3rd and long. You got to throw it towards the end zone if you have the objective of scoring a touchdown. If the point is to simply run some more clock, and perhaps just run the football again. And under further review, it looks like Dunzee did get out of bounds, and they were under an official's timeout, which is why the clock wasn't running. It's running now. It's at 6:30. 5 on the play clock. 3rd and goal from the 12 upcoming. Dunsey looks at the sideline, and they're going to burn a timeout. No harm there. Got to get that play right for this huge 3rd and goal. We'll take a quick break with them. 14-0 St. Gen with 6:25 left here in the contest, right here on the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
Are you ready for an exciting new career that offers job security, flexibility, and independence? Rankin Technical College in Perryville is now accepting student applications for a 10-week CDL training class. The Gilster Mary Lee Corporation will provide the necessary funding for program training if your application is approved. You'll receive a benefits package which includes miles paid by the hub, paid downtime, unloading allowances, vacation, Christmas, and holiday bonuses, plus insurance. Call Mike Welker today at 800-851-5371.
Well, we've got the DeSoto cheerleaders attempting to lead the cheers here right in front of us. Not sure if it's going to net the Dragons, the Road Dragons, a victory on the Knights, but certainly like the effort from them and the crowd, who has been pretty lively here tonight. As a big matchup for DeSoto. They snap an 11-game losing streak against Hillsboro last week, trying to snap a 6-game losing streak against St. Gen. But St. Gen has 3rd and goal from the 12, already up 14-0 in the 4th quarter, 6:25 left. Dunsey back there. He's going to let Brown take the direct snap and end around, and it's going to be number 14 on the play. Brady Boyer taking it towards the sideline. Boyer stays in bounds. The clock keeps running. A little bit of a gang there. It's not going to be enough. It's going to be 4th and goal from the 6. And if you're St. Gen, what's the call here? Do you try for a field goal, or do you keep the offense out there? Looks like they're going to attempt a field goal, and it will be, of course, Dunsey out there taking the kick. Gag will hold. It's a short one. And it's just about 23 yards, high snap, but it's down. A line drive towards the left side, and it's wide left. And Dunsey misses the kick. So the do everything man from St. Genevieve. He passes, he runs, he kicks. This time he's unsuccessful in the field goal attempt. He's made a couple extra points here today. That one from 23 yards out, no good. Now taking over will be DeSoto. The positive, though, if you're St. Gen, is DeSoto still has to march all the way up the field. And that won't be the end of it. They'll have to do that again while also getting the football back. And only 5.5 minutes to do all that. And meanwhile, you haven't scored the entire game. It's going to be tough. See what DeSoto can cook up, though. 5 wide with Fisher. Fisher's back to pass. 4-step drop. He throws out to the right side, and it's almost intercepted. Intended on the play for Snudden. And looks like Jesse Kemper, the defensive back who's in right now for Keene, came up and tried to make that interception. Just missed it. 2nd and 10 with 5.5 minutes left. So Keene, who went out with an injury earlier, actually looks to be back in there now. He's just come back onto the field. As Fisher looks for a draw, and he's swallowed up in the backfield at about the 15-yard line on what looked to be perhaps a QB draw. Whatever it was, it didn't work. That'll bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and 13, a 3-yard loss. And the clock continues to run, so that play certainly hurts from a yardage perspective and a time perspective for Chris Johnson and the DeSoto Dragons. Had a couple of big 3rd down conversions on 3rd and long tonight. They'll need another here. Fisher goes 5 wide. Fisher back to pass. Fisher goes deep, lobs it for his man, and it's too far for the intended receiver, Crow Dinger, who got turned around on the play. In coverage was Trollinger, who's actually thrown a touchdown here today. A wide receiver and a D-back. And that brings up 4th and 13. It's a tough situation because you really can't punt it if you're planning on having a chance here, but at the same time you go for it and you don't get it. The game is instantly over for all intents and purposes, so it looks like they will punt on that note. It's a tough battle. Either try and keep the possession on a long shot, or you punt it away and hope for a quick turnover, maybe a 3 and out. Either way, things looking dire here as DeSoto sets up to punt with 4:46 left, down 4-0, 14-0, I should say, as a flag is thrown on the snap. This is a nice punt. It's going to bounce past the 40 to the 35 and be downed at about the 34 or the 33. But again, we got to check on that flag, and if this is illegal procedure on DeSoto, and it looks like it is, they're going to have to re-kick this, and that's going to hurt because that was actually a really nice punt on the play. It will not matter, though, as they'll have to come all the way back to do it again. Well, it's about 45 degrees here in St. Gen. The weather app says it feels like 45. I have a little bit of a hard time believing that, but then again, we're not quite used to this weather yet, and of course the rain isn't helping matters. It's 4th and 18. DeSoto looking to punt once again. Punt is away. It's certainly not even close to as good as the last one unless they get a lucky bounce, and they actually will. Past the 50 it goes, past the 45, and to about the 41-yard line. So a couple of nice punts there for Crow Dinger, a wide receiver, a defensive back, and the punter. He puts St. Gen on the 41-yard line, their own 41. With just 4:22 left in this ball game. St. Gen needing a first down or two to put this one on ice. It's Friday, October 12th here. We've got one more week of regular season football, Web TV Game of the Week. And the next week will be Valley Catholic at St. Pius. We've seen Valley Catholic already this season on Web TV. Dunsey takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to his man. This one is Staffen, as Darian Brown gets a little bit of a break. Staffen up the middle for a short gain. And a timeout's going to be called by DeSoto, as they need it to stop the clock here. We'll take a quick break with them right here on the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
At Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy, being locally owned means we get to do pharmacy our way, and that means unmatched customer care. We love to do whatever it takes to help our customers stay healthy. Our staff serves you every day at the very top of their game, offering everything you would want from your hometown pharmacy, including top quality products, medical equipment, immunizations, one-on-one counseling, and so much more. Come see us in Deloge, Fredericktown, Ironton, and Farmington. Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy cares for you and about you.
Comtree Dental is leading in innovation to serve your family in Jefferson County. Find us serving students in more than 80 schools.
Visit our pediatric specialist, the only pediatric dentist accepting Medicaid in Jefferson County.
Receive care in our fully equipped mobile dental clinic.
Call 877-COMTREE or visit us online at comtree.org to schedule an appointment for your smile.
Welcome to our family tree.
2nd and 9 for St. Gen here from the 42-yard line, 4:15 on the clock. Couple timeouts left for DeSoto. Dunsey's going to take this one himself over to the right side. Dunsey breaks a few tackles here at the 50 and gets to about the 49-yard line. Close to the sticks there is Dunsey. And it looks like there was a flag on the play. And it's holding on St. Gen, so you can forget about that nice run from Dunsey. It's coming back. And that'll bring up 2nd and long here for St. Gen. Well, you got to think Coach Wyke won't be too happy with the penalties that have occurred here in the second half. Both teams so clean in the early going. But they've come up with conversions when they needed to. They've come up with stops all night long. And while it wasn't a perfect game, perhaps like last week's contest against Fredericktown was, playing a better team here in DeSoto, and it looks like you're going to get the victory. 2nd and 14 from the 37. Clock runs now. 23 seconds on the play clock. 4 minutes now on the game clock. And Dunsey likely to use every second to run down this clock and secure a homecoming victory. Dunsey from the shotgun. Takes a high snap. He's going to run it himself to the right side, trying to get around the corner. Now cutting back left to the 40-yard line is Dunsey. And that'll bring up 3rd and 11. Needing the 49 on the other side of the field is St. Gen here on 3rd and long. And another timeout's going to be called by DeSoto. We'll take it with them quickly. 14-0 St. Gen, 3:39 left. Here on the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
He dreams of playing in the big leagues, which is taking a toll on your dreams. Most people don't think about their home insurance until something happens, but talking to an American Family Insurance agent today can mean your dreams have better protection tomorrow. Visit amfam.com/home for a quote and see if your insurance measures up. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Call Bill Bess, agent 573-431-4893, or stop by 907 East Main Street in Park Hills today.
Back in St. Genevieve, Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week. Well, stay tuned, as after this on J98, you'll hear the Home Pools and Spas post-game show. Live reactions from this game and all the games in the listening area. You'll hear interviews from coaches here, coaches from other towns, from other games. Running back swallowed up in the backfield here for St. Gen on 3rd down. But a flag is thrown as the pile got bigger, and you got to think maybe a late hit. And it will be a late hit on DeSoto, and that's exactly what you didn't need. And unbelievable there is they were going to get the ball back with one more chance to make a run at it. Instead, a 15-yard penalty is going to give St. Gen a free 1st down, and looks like Coach Johnson down there with his hands up in the air. He can't believe it. But the flag is thrown, and
do it again!
Now to midfield goes St. Gen.
Play, blitz it.
And they're actually going to call it 3rd and 1, as they actually did not net enough yards for a 1st down, and now a timeout's going to be called by Coach Johnson of DeSoto. We'll keep it right here this time. And Coach Johnson certainly won't be pleased with that late penalty, as it's going to give St. Gen another chance to get the 1st down. With 3:32 left in this game. And you use your timeouts and you try and get the ball back one more time. Of course, a lot would have had to happen, and there's a lot of emotion in that huddle right now for DeSoto. It looks like number 21, Cole Watson, the running back, is getting in the face of a couple of his teammates. He's also a linebacker, so he's out there right now on defense. But an inexplicable penalty when St. Gen was going to have to punt. Now it's 3rd and 1. And just 1 yard needed to wrap this game up, with the visiting team having no timeouts left. So again, a lot's going to have to happen. St. Gen will have to be stopped here. DeSoto will have to quickly score, kick an onside kick, get the ball back, score again, and Here comes St. John on 3rd and 1. Man in motion for Dunsey. 2 out left, 1 out right. Man in the backfield, and it's actually going to be Gegg taking the snap. And Gegg pushes forward for what looks to be a first down. And it will be the backup quarterback who comes in those short yardage situations. Also plays wide receiver. He gets St. John the first down they needed. And all that's really left to do is waste some time. They'll have to get one more first down at least to officially wrap this up. And it might be 2 first downs depending on how quick they get this one, assuming they do get it. But for all intents and purposes, no more timeouts for DeSoto. As Gegg remains in there, he'll run the ball to the right side, and he'll pick up a decent chunk of change there, just short of the 40. Quite the system that they have set up, and a lot of teams would be criticized for using 2 quarterbacks, but the way that St. John does it is a lot different than what you see from other squads. Gegg, when he's in there, almost never actually throws the ball. And additionally, he's always out there as a wide receiver, so he's a threat to be a part of some trickeration, and we've seen a couple of trick plays already today. Gegg's going to take this carry to the right side, push past the 40, then be pushed backwards. That'll bring up 3rd down and short. So it's not like Dunsey is in constant fear of being pulled. In fact, Dunsey generally stays in the game in these situations, and he's out there right now. And Dunsey certainly gets his share of the offense, throwing to guys like Logan Gegg or running the ball himself. And of course, he's the kicker for this team. Here's 3rd and 2. Gegg still back there. And Gegg will take the snap. He's going to run it out to the left side, and Gegg is going to come close to a first down here, needing just 2 yards. And he will get the first down as the chains move. And that should do it. At this point, St. John simply needing to take a knee a few times to wrap this one up. DeSoto cannot stop the clock. 1:30 now left, 20 on the play clock. And the men in green will set up here with Dunsey back behind center. And they will indeed take a knee. We'll have to do that 1 or 2 more times, but with this result, St. Genevieve is going to improve to 6-2 on the season. A 2nd straight victory in conditions which are to be celebrated, senior night and homecoming, but can cause some headaches for coaches, and Coach Wyke would never admit it. But Chris Johnson of DeSoto was certainly honest with us in saying that, sometimes these games can be a distraction for the home team. Coach Wyke and the Dragons of St. Genevieve handle it beautifully as Dunsey takes another knee. They navigate through the potential minefield that is the homecoming week and senior night last week. And they're going to come out of it 2-0 in those games, and now 6-2 on the season as St. Genevieve is looking to go into the playoffs hot, and they might do just that as the clock is going to run out. St. Genevieve wins this game 14-0 over DeSoto. The Battle of the Dragons is won by the home team, and that will do it. St. Gen 14, DeSoto nothing, as we welcome in a new audience here. Thanks to everybody tuning in on KJFF and J98. Final on KJFF, St. Francis 50, Festus 7, J98 North County over Potosi 22-7. Here in our game, it is St. Gen defeating DeSoto 14-0. So St. Gen A low-scoring contest. We expected as much with the rain. It was on and off a little bit. The first half was pretty light. The third quarter, it got a little heavier, and then it eventually tapered off, but the ball was wet all night, and we certainly saw plenty of dropped passes. The quarterbacks, though, made the most of it, as Briar Fisher and the DeSoto offense, 0 points will not show that they really did move the ball pretty well at times. It was just some untimely turnover on downs, and, of course, the interception near the end of the first half, which set up an easy score in the red zone for St. Gen. That was the backbreaker, as we nearly went into halftime with a score of 0-0. That did not happen, and when that didn't occur, DeSoto was playing from behind the entirety of the second half, and that really killed them, as St. Gen got one more score in the third quarter, went on top 14-0, and that was all the points that they would need as the Dragons get the victory over the other Dragons, the Road Dragons of DeSoto. So one more time, St. Genevieve 14, DeSoto nothing. St. Gen goes to 6-2. DeSoto goes to 4-4. Be sure to join us on Tuesday for the Roundtable Show, as we're going to have head coach Ken Wyke on with us, and that'll be fun. He's going to be in a good mood, we hope, as he's got 2 big victories in consecutive weeks. That's going to do it from St. Genevieve. One more time, 14-0 Dragons of St. Gen over Dragons of DeSoto. We'll send it now to KREI, and this has been it for the Kohl's Tractor and Equipment Web TV Game of the Week.
You love to shop